Ladies and gentlemen, hailing from Cleveland, Ohio, I give you BVO.
Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know, shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know, every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know, I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show, this is BVO.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy BBO Sports TV, man. We back. I'm with my brother Prize. What's going on, man? How you feeling?
Man, you already know, man. Another day. Blessed to be here. What's up with you?
What's up, brother? Salute to my brother Dank. I know y'all seen the thumbnail. No, that's not D-Free. That is not D-Free. That's
He do look like Free.
That is Smack from Battle Rap. So what I want to talk about is how now me being from, a young dude from the early 2000s, Battle Rap was very important for me. There was this kid named Murder Mook. I believe the kid was from Harlem.
Yeah.
He was just kind of destroying everybody. The funny thing about it was he was so talented because he could also do a little bit of rapping on regular beats, and that was one of Dame Dash's guys. So I've always been a fan of Murder Mook. He's
still around, BVO. He's still around whooping feet.
Yeah, I seen when he beat up Hitman Holler. I mean, he beat him to death. That was they should have threw the towel in. That was bad. He got 3-0. That was crazy.
Yeah, he definitely got 30.
Battle Rap was so big at one time. They had a guy named you know him as Joe Buttons now. He went by Joseph Buttons back then, and he went against a dude named Goods. And him and Goods had a legendary battle. I thought Joe washed him. But Joe came from the industry of rap and just came in there and beat the life out of Goods in his thing. And I think the thing that messed up battle rap is that battle rap used to be free. Shout out to my homeboy Dallas, shout out to Arsenal, man, shout out to Loaded Lux, T-Rex,
shout out Rex.
Grown man bars or something you gotta deal with, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. When we had that, people forget it was free. It was free.
Well, you know why, BVO? They're trying to get compensated now because, they was getting, like you said, it was free. So Smack, when he was running around with DVD before he came out with the URL, them boys wasn't commanding that much money, in battle rap. Now Cassidy set the tone with that. He ended up 250 grand. That's nobody never seen nothing like that for a battle when he battled Disaster in Cali. But so what happened was the rappers' numbers went up, and that's why they have to put everything on the app. Because if Smack give everybody what they want, and then he goes to a venue, he's not going to make all that money back in one night, bro. And then the YouTube views ain't enough. That's where I went on that Caffeine app. But now there's no more money in battle rap. It's dried up for now.
Yeah, and I don't know if you ever seen it, Dink. Joe Budden. At the height of his career,
he battled Goods, did he?
Yeah, he battled Goods. You remember when he battled Goods? Wasn't that Goods, the light skinned dude, the chubby light skinned dude that be acting weird?
You don't remember that?
Yeah, look that.
I know who Goods is.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of dudes is younger. They probably don't remember Goods, but hey, look that up real quick so we can verify that. I believe that was Goods that Joe Budden went against because he had the whole slaughterhouse with him.
I remember Joe Budden ended up coming back battling. I didn't know it was against Goods though.
Yeah, he went up against. Let me see.
I thought he was Hollow the Don.
Let me look. Was it Hollow or was it Goods?
I think it was Hollow when he battled Hollow. No. It was Hollow the Don versus Joe Budden.
Okay, Hollow the Don. My mistake. I thought that was Goods. My bad.
No, that's Hollow. Shout out Hollow.
Yeah, you're right. My bad. Thanks to my brother Dank. Hollow the Don. And Joe went in there and just obliterated the nigga. And it was like,
he lost that one, BVO. I don't know what battle you was watching.
No, Joe tore my new tail. You can probably say
Joe
2-1.
No,
he was 2-1 if you want, because I thought that Hollow took the first round, but Joe
quit. He quit.
Joe watched him.
No, Joe Budden was holding his own, surprisingly. Well, I wasn't surprised because Joe Budden, whether you like him or not, back in the day, Joe Budden, he was a pretty good MC, right? He was battling, he was cooking he was doing all right, and then the crowd wasn't feeling him. Then he snapped on the crowd, and they booed him, and then he couldn't handle that battle rap crowd.
But let me set this up for you. Speak to my man Right Side. That's the thing you got to remember. Dang, Right Side, my brother Prize, is that battle rap had got so cool. One of my favorite rappers, Cannabis. Cannabis, he did garbage though.
He was trash.
And what you seen, battle rap was getting so popular that you had dudes who was washed up, stinking, trying to get in the battle rap. You had bums like Fredro Starr wanted to get in it. You had washed up niggas like Cannabis wanted to get in. You got to watch
Fredro Starr killed this battle when he battled. They battled on
did,
Pico.
but didn't he battle Keith Murray? So I mean,
yeah, he killed Murray. Was lit though, bro. Murray was tweaking.
The Murray we knew from Def Squad is long gone. But that's what I'll say. That's the thing I'll say.
Right.
The thing that was so hard about battle rap was everybody was excited. Me being a younger guy, I was like 2002, 2003. Because I used to love the Coke Boy DVDs. I don't know if y'all ever know who was a guy named Frenchie.
French and Max B.
Back then, his name was Frenchie. I didn't know nobody else but Frenchie. I didn't know no French Montana. I knew Frenchie. You had Frenchie. You had Big Avell. See, he wasn't called Max B. He was called Big Avell. That was back when him. I don't know if you ever heard this kid named Stack Bundles. Basically, that time in hip hop was tremendous. That was tremendous. Stack. Max B. Some people say Stack and Max B wrote Ballin' for Jimmy.
Well,
I think
Max
they probably
B
did.
Max B definitely wrote, but Jimmy came up with the Ballin'. That was from hanging around Max B. You know how they used to talk, but Jimmy, I'm pretty sure Max B had something to do with it. It sounds like a Max B record, but
it sounds very Stack Bundles to me.
Yeah, the verses. I don't know. Jimmy can rap though.
If you guys are like me and watch Dragon Ball Z. You got guys like Jim Jones, Drake, Kanye. They absorb niggas like Cell. Like they get around a nigga and take their whole style, and you would think it was them that did it. Like when you heard Kid Cudi, when you heard Travis Scott, you could honestly say you probably thought they was copying Kanye. No, they wasn't. They had their own thing that he absorbed them niggas in. Yeah. You seen that with Drake with the song. Drake absorbed "I Love McConaughey." But anyway, we're getting way off topic. But I'm just saying the paywall.
Put Smack in the thumbnail. We on topic. Go ahead.
The paywall destroyed battle rap. Now you got people putting pictures of Smack on top of the grave of battle rappers saying, battle rap is dead, like on the hip hop is dead. Stuff.
Chilla Jones is trying to. I mean, they bombed out with that Cassidy versus Easy. But
you stay talking trash, Dank. I'll drop the link so I can click your.
Dank watch battle rap.
But it's the thing I'm saying. For me, watching battle rap, I love battle rap, and they were saying for people like me, I can't speak for nobody else. 35 and up, you don't really hear a lot of niggas talking about battle rap as much as they used to because of the paywall. You got to get on the app. It's just like when you see Canelo.
App.
No, well, whatever that app, I don't know. It
doesn't exist no more. That caffeine deal with URL is over.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay,
so lately, the person that's been dropping battles has been TBL, Chilla Jones League, but he dropped the ball with that Cassidy Easy, and then that Easy versus New Jersey Twerk choked in all 3 rounds. So that wasn't in his audio and stuff. He trying, but. He tried, but man, he got a lot of work to do, bro.
But for me, what I'm basically saying is they did that in boxing. When you had Errol Spence, you had Javante Tank Davis fighting on a free app. Fighting on Fox. It was different. Really? I remember when they had Adrian Broner, all these guys fighting on Showtime cards, calling Showbox. And what they pretty much did in boxing was they put it behind a paywall. And the paywall always hurts because niggas is broke.
Well, they gotta get it. They gotta get a return on their investment, though. That's just like if we put up $1 million for this channel and we just paying everybody, but we not getting nothing in return. Now we in the red. Now when you hit that red,
that's what I'll tell you. This is what I always tell you. This is what I learned, especially about creating content, things of that nature. Whatever you're doing, if you got a good product, slowly but surely, people will pay for it if they value it.
Yeah, but Smack wasn't making enough money off of YouTube.
No, I'm not. Listen, you missing what I'm saying. You missing what I'm saying because you got to remember, Snack and them came along before the YouTube program. YouTube Partner Program is what it is today. It wasn't like it is today. I think they started the YouTube Partner Program in 2008. So that's only what 17 years ago or so. And Smack was before then. He was on DVDs. I
Yeah,
get what you
facts.
said. What I'm just saying is he just was ahead of his time. Same thing. Like used to be this kid named Brian Pumper. He was ahead of his time. When we seen B
Shout out B
Pumper,
Pumper.
when we seen B Pump smashing chicks in the head with eggs and all that goofy stuff, that was ahead of his time. So I said all to say this. I think the paywall for boxing with the pay-per-views and you watching guys you don't necessarily want to see fight, I think that really killed the game. And I think if you think about it now, you can honestly say boxing may not recover. And you say, why you say that, BBO? Because there is no big fights to really speak of that you want to see. You got Tio versus Shakur Stevenson, and it's like zero hype.
Yeah.
Tio went up there and said he can't, they're not even getting a lot of sponsors. You say if you would have said this 7 years ago, 6-7 years ago,
Fight would have been
I
lit.
think the fight would have been crazy.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Remember when Devin fought Ryan the first time? That was a lit fight.
It was lit, yeah.
You go back to Devin, think about you. Go back to Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury 2
Lit.
or 3 or 1.
All three of them lit.
The internet was totally different then. What I'm basically saying is this. I think boxing made a huge mistake with that paywall. And now you don't see the sport growing and there are no casual fans. Before there was some, but there ain't none anymore. Now we just got all niggas who are diehard fans. Who can tell you about Rocky Marciano, who can tell you about Archie Moore. That's cool, but you need the regular person who's not really boxing ain't their life to be on there. Like when Jake Paul, from Cleveland did his thing with Anthony Joshua, that's all you see on the internet. Hey Jake is fighting Anthony Joshua. Jake is fighting Anthony Joshua. And for me, I thought that was bananas. I couldn't believe that actually happened, and Jake pulled it off. And think about how everybody was talking about that fight. Y'all remember when everybody was talking about Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul? I mean, I said all to say
Mike
this,
Tyson's
man.
name attached to it though.
But that's what I'm saying. With boxing, we don't really have nothing anymore as far as name recognition because people say what they want. I know a few guys that might maybe know who Canelo is, maybe Tank, maybe Devin Haney, but a lot of people that don't watch boxing directly or have somebody tied to the sport, they don't watch the sport at all. And that's kind of what you're getting, man, where that's why you see a lot of YouTubers is kind of pivoting because boxing ain't what it used to be. And now they got this thing where everybody want to pickle pool people with access. And really what you're getting when you got access all the time is more or less you got somebody backing you and paying for you to look bigger than you are. And when you come up the right way with nobody, just yourself and your homeboys that you chose to come up with, niggas don't always respect that. But I'll say this, man, that's why I love my favorite sport of boxing, because I believe it can make a comeback. But let me ask you this. When you see the paywall come up on boxing, did it remind you of what was happening to Battle Rap or no? Go ahead, Prize. I don't know if you can hear me. Yeah, I don't think Prize can be, but like I said, it's just one of them things where I just was shocked that we didn't get, more people excited about the sport of boxing. And for me, I think boxing is one of them sports where it can never get old. You can never get tired of watching it. You can never be like, oh man, this is this or this is that, because boxing is lit. I love boxing, man, and a lot of us do. Like, I can't wait to see what happens when Devin Haney get back in the ring, because when he got in there with Brian Norman, I knew he would beat him pretty easily. I mean, I'm gonna be real. I thought he was gonna beat him pretty easily, so I'm not gonna play no games like I thought Brian had. I didn't think Brian had a chance because of all that Devin had been through. Devin had been through a lot of tough fights. Devin has seen a bunch of different styles, and it's very eerily similar to when you seen Errol Spence fight Bud Crawford, and Bud Crawford went in there and put hands on him. I mean, he put hands on him, like my man said in Hoopland. Eleanor, if I raise up, you know what I mean? And that's the thing that happened in boxing. I feel like this. No matter how you try to put it, man, pay-per-views have been okay, but they haven't been good for the sport. They just haven't been. It was back in the day, shout out to Don King when he had closed circuit television and all that. But now, man, niggas want to be able to watch stuff for free or dang near for free. Like the whole thing, like NBA YoungBoys fans. They said he got the brokest fans in industry. But they find a way to support by YouTube. They run his numbers up. He the king of YouTube. So for me, like I said before, boxing is one of them things where I think it's just a matter of time before we find what we need. And that's kind of how I look at it. But I don't know. I'm just excited about
We need
these
another
upcoming
star.
fights.
We need another superstar.
Yeah, I don't see one coming either. What about you?
I mean, well, the one that can be a star, everybody hates him. Devin Haney. He doesn't care if he wins, lose, or draw. But everybody don't,
Seriously, or are you joking around?
No, I'm dead serious. He definitely could be a superstar. If Devin Haney was from the UK, imagine how big he would be.
Yeah, I mean,
He only get the hate from us, his own people.
yeah.
Imagine if he still could be a black man. He still could be a brother. But imagine if imagine if Devin Haney had that UK accent. He was from like Liverpool or somewhere crazy like that or whatever. Manchester. Man, that man, undisputed, the stuff that he did, boy, he'd be on top of the world right now. And especially if he were white. He looked like Dalton Smith. But hey, what do I know?
Yeah, I just think no matter what, I'm impressed with Devin, but I just think no matter how you slice it, the Bill thing is just gonna keep him from being who he should be. And I think I'll just say this. I'm not trying to worry about that no more, because I kind of see that it's not gonna change, because Devin is really, really hated. And like you say, why you say that, Bill? Because I see how people treat Devin. I see how people talk about Devin. It's never
disgusting.
It's never with excitement. It's never with any of that. It's just crazy when you think about it, because for me, what more could you really ask for? I mean, from a star. I mean, does Devin talk? Maybe not enough for me, but
he talks enough.
I don't think people should poo-poo him like they do. And I'm telling you, man, like, you talk about a dude who actually brings appeal to what we doing in boxing.
And he wants to fight the best.
I'm talking about almost if he could, he would fight niggas back to back to back if he could.
Probably would.
And that's the thing that's so crazy. And that's why I say, like, the paywall is crazy. Like, think about that fight with Brian Norman. Say what you want, the doggone fight was on DAZN. So if you don't know what DAZN is, how can you see the fight? There has to be something they can do that they can work out where they tell these fighters, hey, champ, this ain't gonna work. You gotta get on TV. Errol Spence grew so big so fast is because he was on regular TV with Fox. They bought him up on Fox.
Before that,
I mean, when he
was on TV
Fox,
before Fox.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, him being on Fox was huge, because he wasn't part of the HBO crew. He wasn't part of that 08 Keith Thurman, Adrian Bronner, Sean Porter. He wasn't part of that class. You know what I mean? He wasn't one of them HBO boys like Terrence Crawford. And he kind of came on to when they got the Showbox, and then they did the Fox. And you seen them all with their suits on. You remember how they was? Remember how it was when you heard Mikey Garcia coming up from 135, somebody he sees something in Earl.
Yeah, he was tripping.
I mean, it was crazy. What's going on, Free? How you feel, man?
Earl didn't even call for that fight. The Mikey called Earl out. Earl was like, "Word? Oh, all right. You want to come to welterweight?" Man, Earl turned it up on Earl. I love that fight. Derek James was in the corner like, "All right, you gonna turn it up on him now?" And Earl went there. That was a good performance by Earl.
That was a open door fight for both guys, because whoever won, it was going to make them a superstar.
And with the pay-per-view due free, like 300-400.
Yeah, it was I think 350,000 pay-per-view.
That's crazy.
That was both of their first pay-per-view, so it was an open door to stardom. So whoever won was going to be a superstar. Earl was the winner.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think for me though, bro, I'm just kind of at the point when it comes to boxing is I just don't know why it seems like there's so much self-sabotage and dudes talking about they want this ungodly amount of money. Even one of the friends of the show, you had Schofield Sr. at one time talking about, I want $1 million. Why can't I ask for $1 million? Because you can't ask for $1 million if you can't make it back. That's why. Shoot to my brother Mike Rim. I just don't get it because these
That's
guys are
my
really pricing themselves out. Go ahead, Free.
that's my problem. That's the problem that I have with a lot of these fighters. A lot of these fighters asking for money that they don't generate. And people say,
Right.
"Oh, you gotta pay if you want to see these fighters fight." Well, they're not paying to see them fight because they fought before. This ain't the first time they fought. Ain't nobody paying to see them fight. So until they generate the money, they can't. They can ask for whatever they want, but they can't expect to get the money that they're asking for if they're not generating that money.
You're
So
right.
just like,
Nobody wants to pay some money and not get a return on their investment. Free, you know.
yeah, I mean, you're not gonna go and buy a restaurant that for $6 million, but it's only making 500,000. You're not gonna spend $6 million on a restaurant when it's only generating $500,000 in revenue. It's just not gonna happen. You say, hold on, y'all overpriced. So it's the same thing when it comes to these boxers. You can't ask for outrageous amount of money. Well, can't expect to get outrageous amount of money. You can ask for whatever.
Not no more. You can't.
You can't expect to get outrageous amount of money when you're not generating that money. That's why when Richardson Hitches asked for, he turned down the $2 million for Keyshawn and told me he wanted 300, he wanted 3 million. I'm like, no, you never generated 2 million. They gave you more than what you generated in your last fight.
Yeah,
So what are you talking
I
about?
just think that's a careful way of avoiding tough fights.
Yeah,
And
definitely. It's been a part of
which
the
is,
beginning of the time, pricing yourself
I,
out.
I think what Insane said is pretty true. I wish they would make a deal with like TNT because TNT don't have no sports no more. Why
Yeah, but
not?
nobody wants to invest in boxing. That's the only problem. The same. That's why you got the thumbnail up like battle rap. The money's dried up in battle rap. Smack said it ain't coming back. You seen that video? Smack said the
Yeah,
money ain't coming back. Well, boxing is not. I ain't gonna say it's not coming back, but right now, there's nobody except for a couple of people. We got to dig Manny Pacquiao all about the grave and Floyd and them to see views. Nobody's.
yeah.
And
I
then
mean,
that scares off
go
the
ahead.
investors. So, like you said, TNT don't have no sports. Okay, so why don't they go after boxing? Because they're gonna have to pay more than what they're gonna return. They're not gonna, like Free said, if you pay $6 million for something, you in your first year, you at least want to see $1 million, right?
I
I'm not saying
mean,
you're gonna make the whole thing back in your first year, but you want to
you
see,
want to make some money.
yeah.
I mean,
My man
if you
said, go ahead.
no,
My
if you
bad. Go
buy
ahead.
a business, you want to at least break even. You want to at least break even. If you
At
Yeah,
spend
least.
6 million, you want to at least make 6 million back.
Because if
Okay,
you
me and you
spend
can
$6
talk.
million on an investment, it might take you a couple of years to get it. But like I said, at least you want to get $1 million for the next 6 years. You know, and sometimes it takes a little bit. Like if you know about business, sometimes it takes a little bit to get your investment return. So you might make an investment, and it might take me 2 or 3 years to say, all right, now I'm over $6 million now. I didn't pay for my buildings paid for, my restaurants paid for, and everything else is. You know what I'm saying? Like, so sometimes it take it, but they don't have any faith in boxing that because the young boys don't want to fight each other. So that makes it even harder to
no,
sell.
you don't even got guys that want to fight.
That's what I'm saying.
Say what you want. I mean, people say what they want about Shakur. Shakur is at least open to fights. It's Shakur. People want to give Shakur a hard time about wanting to wait rehydration clause and all that. Man, it ain't no big deal. It ain't no big deal because we seen Floyd do it because Floyd could fight at 54, but he didn't like to. He always came in at 52 or something like that because he didn't
Yep.
like to fight that
51.
big.
Yep.
And I think that people got to just understand in boxing, man, you got to just fight the fights. And, that's why y'all, a lot of people talk about, oh, why do BBO like Tio? Man, you can say what you want. Tio has ducked that he has kind of played games. But think about it. He fight Lomachenko fought Lomachenko in his career, Josh Taylor in his career, Richard Coleman in his career. Now you possibly saying a guy like Jermaine Ortiz, who people are bigging up, and then on top of that, you got him about to fight Shakur. I
He
mean,
fought some. Tio got a
what
pretty
guys
decent
can
resume.
if you think about it, let's just be real. The black fighters don't do this. The new age black fighters don't do this. You got
Well, Devin
Ryan who
does
done
it.
fought. But listen, you got Ryan who done fought Tank. You got Ryan who done fought Rolly. You got Ryan who done fought Devin. And it's just like that's what I mean. When it comes to the black fighters, we don't necessarily other than Devin and probably David Benavidez, have you really seen black fighters chase niggas down? And how many times I gotta hear dudes sit at the A side? How many times we gotta hear dudes tell Gary Antoine? We heard Richardson Hitchens, who's a nobody, tell Gary Antoine, get your name up. What are you talking about? Who the hell are you?
That was crazy.
I'm thinking to myself, why don't you beat Gary Antoine up and get a name? That's why I was so hard on my man. That's why I was so hard on Emiliano Vargas, because don't say Gary Antoine's name if y'all not really gonna fight him. That's stupid. That make y'all look bad.
Yeah.
I think Vargas can beat him. But it don't matter what I think until he do it. Gary Antoine, but it don't matter till we see it happen.
Mm-mm.
Because if Pullo can win, anybody can beat Gary, in my humble opinion.
He ain't ready for that kind of smoke.
Let me read
That
this
kid's
comment
still
real
wet
quick.
behind the ears.
My man Insane. So I believe that one of these companies can get a deal with FS1 or ESPN, and they will take these companies just not top ranked. You can build on TNT, TBS, Monday Night Fights, and Friday Night Fights like they did Monday nights. Monday Night
Yeah,
Show.
nobody
They
wants to
could.
fund it though. Insane. That's what I just was saying. Like, it sound good, but are they going to take $20 million and dump it into that? How much do you think it's going to take? They got do production. Then you got these fighters that want to get paid. Now, unless you fight like some low, like fresh out the amateur, maybe focus on that. Have some amateur tournaments or something. I don't know, but are you going to take $20 million as a company and dump it into boxing? I don't think a lot of people's rushing to do that. That's my only problem. Now, what you're saying Insane sound good. I would love to turn on TNT and they got Monday Night Rumbles or something. You know what I mean? Monday Night Madness or whatever it's called. You know what I mean? That would be lit. I remember when I used to watch USA back in the day, they used to have fights on Tuesdays. You know what I mean?
Salute
Friday
you.
night fights was the thing. So, you know, but now where's that funding coming from? Who's going to, in like Turkey and them, like they look like they got their own thing. I mean, if Oscar wasn't such a goofy, if he wouldn't have made it, like they probably could have worked something out with him, Bob Arum, and Al Heyman could have probably sold boxing to like TNT, like you just said. But everybody's so greedy, fam, and nobody wants to put that investment in because who gonna get the money? How you gonna get the money back?
I mean, they doing it with the rookies when you see what they done with Zuffa Boxing. But it's the thing I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna drop some real knowledge. We're gonna have a real conversation. To me, Abdullah Mason and Emiliano Vargas should have been fought. That's a fact. They should have been fought. I don't want to hear this. Oh, he's not ready yet. Let the fight build. No, they should have been fought. People don't realize that Roy Jones fought Bernard Hopkins right away, pretty much in his career. It wasn't no wait. He went and fought the executioner pretty much right away. Same thing you had with Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns. Them niggas pretty much fought right away. There was no waiting. They went and made the fight happen and was able to build on that. Same thing when you had Roberto Duran come 135. Then he took 2 fights or so, and then he fought Ray Leonard. These guys, man, I don't want to say they're cowards. I don't want to say none of that. I'm just saying these guys don't want it. They want to wear chains. They want everything that comes with boxing, but they don't want to take the hard fights. People don't realize that Floyd wasn't favored to beat Angel Man Freddy. Floyd wasn't favored to beat Castillo. These are hard-ass fights he took. Even when he fought Chop Chop Corley, Chop was the favorite.
No, he wasn't.
He was the fake. What I'm saying, I'm not taking him on the line. What I'm saying is, from what I heard from people in Ring Magazine, I can only go off Ring Magazine. I wasn't there. Ring Magazine made it seem like he was going to get destroyed. That Floyd was going to get destroyed.
Nah, it was a tough fight at 140, and you know, he fighting a game opponent like DeMarcus Corley, and DeMarcus Corley clipped him real good in that fight.
He buckled Floyd. If you remember, he buckled him.
Yeah, but you know, he fought hard fights. Like, you know, even sometimes like with Corrales, even though he dominated the fight, and he was the underdog in that, people thought he was too little. And I remember myself being young. I was like, man, y'all don't know this kid, Pretty Boy Floyd. I'm telling you, I like Chico too. That's my man. But I think Chico's in over his head on this, and all my friends thought I was crazy. And you saw
But
what
Floyd went
happened.
to go fight Otero Gotti in Atlantic City, his adopted home.
Yep.
People forget that wasn't no fight that they thought Floyd would win. I'm just saying, and I ask you this, Free. When you see guys refusing to fight, what does that say to you, man, about the sport?
About the sport,
Yeah.
it doesn't say anything about the sport. It just says they got a lot of guys that just want to get paid. They don't want to. They don't want to show that they're the best. They just want to get paid. That's what the sport is today. A lot of guys in the sport don't want to show that they're the best. A lot of the big names. I'm not gonna say a lot of the guys. A lot of the big names that people are familiar with. A lot of them don't want to show that they're the best. They want to get paid. They rather get paid than to prove who's the better guy. Because if they're going to get in a fight with a hard opponent, they feel like, okay, well, if I lose, I need to be compensated for my loss. I need to be paid more money than I've ever been paid before because it's a good chance that I might lose in this fight. Which, I mean, you can think like that, but at the same token, you're making it hard for people to do business with you. You're making it hard.
Or like BVO like to say, Free, you got to sell that belt. Them boy be wanting crazy amount of money.
Yeah. I mean, it's just I look at it like a lot of us that grew up in the 80s and in the 90s, we was used to and we got accustomed to seeing all of these guys mix it up because they were pretty much under one banner. But now it's so many different promotional companies. Guys like, well, I mean, promotional companies are like, well, I don't have to do business with you if I don't want to, unless my guy is a mandatory for your title, your champion. I don't have to do business with you. I can keep everything in house.
My guy sell tickets over here. We doing good in Massachusetts.
A lot of times, keeping it in house is not the best fight. You can get some good fights. Like when PBC had 147 locked up, it was a lot of good fights on the PBC side. I mean, Bud Crawford was pretty much out in the cold because he was with Top Rank, but there was a lot of good fights on the PBC side. So
I'd have loved to see Bud mix it up with them boys, Thurman and all them.
Look at Top Rank. Top Rank had 135, so it was a lot of good fights at 135 for Top Rank. So it all depends on which promotional company has that division. Which division are we talking about? Because when you start moving in the different divisions, and when you have multiple promoters that have a lot of fighters in the same division, that's where we get where fighters say, you have these promotional companies going at each other. Oh, well, we want to do it on our platform. Well, we want to do it on our platform. That's where all of these hurdles come in. That's why people say they want these fighters to be under one banner where it eliminates the hurdles that people have to jump.
Yeah. Well, you know, we got spoiled watching them fights in the 80s and 90s, D-Free, and I don't ever think we'll get back to it. Kind of like wrestling and rap and everything else.
And I'll say this, man, it's the part that's so crazy. You got Charles Martin, F.Ed Jagba on a Zuffa card.
Yeah, I want to see that fight. I don't know why.
That's kind of what happens when you do stupid stuff like make Chris Arreola and Andy Ruiz a doggone pay-per-view fight. That ain't a pay-per-view fight. They just been going overboard with it, man. So
they got to get in a return in their investment.
No, what it was.
No, you got to get paid less.
No, what it was.
You have to get paid less.
No, it was the fighters asking for a certain amount of money, and that's what PBC. That's why PBC came up with the motto: well, we're going to give you low guarantee. If you want to make more money, then you be on pay-per-view. If not, this is what we're getting for this fight. You say you want to get more money? Okay, we give you this amount for your guarantee. You make the rest on pay-per-view. You get it on the back end, and that's why we had so many pay-per-views. Because pay-per-view was really only for mega fights. That's what pay-per-view was for. It was for mega fights and undisputed fights. But so many people wanted to get the big dollars where the promotional company wasn't getting it from the network. So they were like, okay, well, the only way we can get them the money that they asked for, we got to put it on pay-per-view. Let the fans pay for it. If the fans pay for it, then they get the money that they're looking for. If the fans don't pay for it, then they tell you, well, this is what the fans say you want.
Right. And I'm just saying that even when you think about that part of it, I'm just telling you, man, we don't, there's no fight that you can even say that you're remotely excited about. People can say what they want, but Canelo should have fought David Benavidez. That fight probably could have did $3 million like 3 or 4 years ago. If Shakur, yeah, that's what I mean, 3 million pay-per-view. If Shakur was able to fight Tank, man, that probably could have did $1,700,000. And I'm just telling you, man, boxing is messed up. You got Bud Crawford who didn't retire. You got AJ who hanging on by a string. Tyson Fury's done. Usyk got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. As my man,
your boy Canelo's still around.
Done. Man, Canelo's done. You can put a fork in him. When you're having surgery on the same joints over and over again, that ought to tell you that part of your body won't ever be the same. All you can do is all you're doing is cleanup jobs at this point. Yeah. How many times you gonna clean up that elbow? That elbow is messed up, man. It's not coming back. It's just like if you grew up in my era and you had Chi-Chis and Friendlies. We all have fun going to them places as kids, Ponderosa. But them places are gone, man. Forever. It's gone forever. So, I mean, it's just that we got to face the facts about what's going on. And I'm telling you, man, giving me fights, like when me and Tony went to the fight, who the hell was the dude that Xander was fighting, man? I didn't tell you who he was, and I watch boxing.
And to be honest with you, the fans showed you multiple times. You put on the fights that we want, we will pay for it. We saw it with the Earl and Bud. We saw it with the Tank and Ryan. You put on the fight that we want, we will pay for it. But if we're not paying for these fights that we don't care to see.
Yeah, I mean it's tough.
That's why I'm so going in on Virgil, because that's the fight the fans want. If you want a certain amount of money, okay, put it on pay-per-view. The fans want it.
I didn't even see my bad. I didn't even see my man Insane here. My bad, Insane. How you feeling, brother?
Oh man, salute to the bros, man. How y'all doing tonight?
What up, my guy?
Hey man, shout out to the east side of Long Beach, man. We got my brother in the house. What's going on, man?
Hey, you know, I kind of what I said earlier in the chat about the TNT, maybe a TBS deal. If Ted Turner was still around, but y'all gotta remember, if these guys are giving wrestling promotions such as TNA, AEW, WWE, you know, money to build their program, especially TNA, as you know, what I'm saying, as this rise, why you can't do the same with per se a boxing promotion? Let's just take Golden Boy for example. You know, if we see all these older guys, as you guys just said, like these guys are getting out of boxing, so now it's time for the new school dudes coming in from the Olympics, the guys with like 5 fights or maybe 10, or even the young brother who father be on here with Coach Hackett and his son or whatever. You know, you can build them fighting every Monday, every Friday, you know what I'm saying, and then get them to pay-per-view status, you know what I'm saying, because all you really need is one big name or maybe two.
But TNA sell tickets, Insane. And that wrestling, that low budget under they still under that WWE umbrella, but they're like I've been, because my daughter is a wrestling fan, so I go when they come to Philly, I go all the time, right?
Right.
When we go in there, it's packed in there. Right. You know, even we went to that what's the guy, the black guy? He say whoop that trick. I was at that one. And the black guy, he was a champ, and he came out, and his music was called, it was saying, whoop that trick, and the whole crowd was saying, whoop that trick, and even my daughter. It was packed in there. They're not going to sell them fights out like that.
But what I'm saying is, when
they're getting a little bit money back from that wrestling, you know,
but what I'm saying is, when you guys remember when TNA came out, them guys didn't have no major stars. They started from the bottom up. And this is what these guys need to do. That's why you come in there with a well-known promoter, you know what I'm saying, and he business with somebody else that can get you in the doors of the TNT and things like that. And you can have these young guys, not all around the world, but if you guys remember, WCW was shot in Orlando, Florida at a studio. It didn't move around until it started making money. Maybe that's what these young guys and these promoters need to do to build their names up, and that's where you guys can see these young dudes coming up fighting each other, and we won't have what we have now. That's all I'm saying about building a company.
No, I
Yeah,
agree with you, but
I agree with you though.
the difference between wrestling and boxing, wrestling, those people are entertainers. They interact with the fans. Boxers don't interact with the fans like that. Some of them do, but majority of the boxers don't interact with the fans. Like those wrestlers and those brands, they will
yeah,
have autograph shows. They will have different little things for the community to come out or the fans to come out and interact with the entertainers, the wrestlers. They don't
Hmm.
have that with boxing. So they was able to build their audience because they made sure that those wrestlers came to them those events.
It's part of
And
their job, free. That had
yeah,
to show up.
What what
they made sure that they came to those events to interact with the fans so they can build that brand. But
what
these boxers are so by themselves. They don't have
They
they
they all
don't
want to
have
be rappers and wear chains
they
and
don't have a head. So everybody is for themselves. So
well that's a
that's
good
why
thing
you
that
have some of them do it.
Well, that's a good thing where you mentioned that, D Free, because now these new guys, you can actually change the motto. Who said that a PBC or a Golden Boy can't change their motto and actually go for that type of brandmanship and endorsementship and have these young guys do this and that? You know what I'm saying? Put themselves out there to the people. That don't just work with wrestlers. That could be with anybody. That's what the NBA does. That's what the NFL does. That's what all these other big sports companies does. You just have to get a group of guys, no more than 15 or 20, to build the brand back up from the bottom. It can possibly happen. You just got to
yeah.
I
do it, and
mean,
you
I
have to get
like
the
the
right
thing
type
with the
of
young
people in there.
boys fighting. Like I would have like amateur like tournament like high profile amateur tournaments on like Spike TV or something.
Right,
Like
right.
something like I would have the young bulls like the up and comers like you said 5-0 maybe 10-0 like Free said or one of y'all said that. But I love that model. But who's going to fund it? Nobody. When I pitched that to them, even if I got with like Al and Bob and all them try to pitch that, man, they probably be like, nah, we do better on wrestling because you can control the story with wrestling. You know, you can't control the story with boxing. Somebody might go in there and get whooped.
Well,
You know what I
Free, I
mean?
mean, what prize, my brother? You forgot it was a little company, bro, that did these same exact things that me and you just discussed, right? It was a little small company, bro, and it was called the UFC. They did the
yeah,
Hmm.
same exact thing. So if they can do it, boxing can do it. And it's just have to be a company thing where this one company, per se, we say PBC as the company, does it with their fighters. And then the motto would get everybody else into it. But we've seen it with the UFC. We've seen it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for
And they
sure.
got a big boy TV deal with Paramount. People don't realize Paramount is huge.
Yeah,
And so they
bro.
got a deal with Paramount. I mean, I think they said something wrong, billions of dollars to do it. And this is the thing I'm saying as a fan of the sport is that these paywalls have just even killed the interest of like the casual fan who want to flip it on to see somebody get their ass whooped.
but
You
see,
can't you can't even flip it on to see somebody get beat up no more.
but see,
Right? Because you don't have.
the reason why they have a deal like that is because they're building their own league. It's boxing in a sense, but they're building their own league. So when they're building their own league, they have the say so of what these fighters can and can't do. So they can say, okay, look, this is what they can come with a game plan and say, look, this is what we have in our fighters do. This is our pay structure for the fighters. And so this is how much money we're going to be paying out. So we won't be losing money. We will actually be making money. But with the actual the boxing model right now, they don't have that structure. There is no structure in boxing. So they can't really go to these programs and say, look, this is what we want to do. They can say, these are the people that we have on, and this is what they generate when they fight. That's all they can go with. They can't tell them what their plan is because they don't have a plan. It's not really a plan out there.
You know, Free, that's good that you said that because they have this little thing called Zuffa Boxing now. I hope I'm saying that right. Zuffa
Yeah.
Boxing now is
That's what I'm
actually going
talking
by
about.
the
That's what
same
I'm talking
business.
about.
Okay, but they
That's what I'm
have the
talking
same.
about.
Okay, so if they have the same business practices, why can't another promotional company say, okay, we're gonna have one belt up under this company brand? It might be, let's just say, the IBO. Okay, we're gonna fight for these IBO titles here. It's gonna be one face, one name, one champion. You get what I'm saying? And you can actually build something. See, anything can be built with an idea. You just have to put the idea in play. And if you have a name per se, Oscar De La Hoya, you don't think that these multi billionaires, you know what I'm saying, would invest in something that in the long run, because you remember these tycoons and these billion trillionaires, they play the long run game, and they want to build something, and you can sell merchandise, and you can do the things that you need to do, such as a WWE and the rest. Remember, all these companies that we see now, AEW, WWE, TNA, this Zuffa boxing, everything started from an idea, and it had to
Yeah.
be built up over the years. So let's not say it can't happen. We just need the right people in place so it can happen.
And Al can't do everything. I think
Yeah.
we got to remember Al can't do everything. I mean, we've seen them put Chris Ariola and doggone Andy Cruz on a doggone pay-per-view. It was like, who want to see somebody get the tacos punched out of them on pay-per-view? I mean,
Yeah,
they put King Kong versus Charles Martin on pay-per-view. I couldn't believe they did that. It was just like, you know what? At this point, free, and I get what you saying when you say what you say, but man, my favorite sport really don't love me back. And speaking of that, I'm gonna ask you guys this. Now we hear a lot of people talking about Devin versus Ryan versus Mario Barrios. Do you guys actually think Mario Barrios is the underdog like people trying to act, or do you think Ryan's gonna run right through him?
I honestly believe in my heart that Mario Barrios can beat Ryan Garcia, because when Ryan Garcia gets on the level with certain boxers, when he's clean, he loses. Are you guys sitting on this panel telling me that Mario Barrios is not better than Rolly Romero? Mario Barrios is better than Rolly Romero, who just beat Ryan Garcia. So if Ryan Garcia is clean, which we know him to be clean in two of his last fights, I'm not last fights, I'm sorry. We know he was clean with Tank Davis. We seen what happened. He didn't look the same. Then we seen him clean with Rolly Romero. He didn't look like that animal that was in the ring with Devin Haney. Now the thing is, we look past Mario Barrios and we say, oh man, he lost 2 times. Well, let's talk about who he lost to. He lost to Power Punch and Tank. Tank has skills. He's better than Ryan. One time Keith Thurman is better than Ryan Garcia by a long stretch. Even this version of Keith is better than Ryan Garcia. Would anybody disagree? I think not. Let's not waste our time with that. So the guys that he lost to are high stakes boxers, which he was in the fight with those guys until he wasn't in the fight. So in reality, even though Ryan is the more popular pick because he cheated a guy, he can lose. Mario Barrios can beat him, and he can beat him quite easily if he's clean.
I think Mario. I think Ryan has done a masterful job controlling social media. If you look at what he's doing, whether you see him in there punching Blueface, got Blueface in a bodysuit, punching Blueface, so you see him getting the fake tattoos on his face. It seems like he's enjoying himself, and it's not the same way when you see Devin. You see Devin always focused, always worried about what's next. Go ahead, my bad, Free.
no, I was gonna say. I mean, if you look at it, I think a lot of people looking at the hand speed of Ryan and looking at the power of Ryan, and they saw Mario Barrios get beat by a smaller guy in Tank Davis. They saw him get beat by an older guy in Keith Thurman. They said, okay, Ryan is faster than Keith Thurman. And, a lot of people think Ryan got power. So that's why a lot of people are picking Ryan. But like Insane said, if you look at Mario Barrios, he's more skilled than Ryan. He got better footwork. He got better boxing ability. Um, but can can um can Mario Barrios stand up to one of Ryan's left hooks? Now we know Ryan do have power. Whether you believe that or not, prior to him popping dirty, he was knocking people out prior to that. So I don't know if it was just for the Devin Haney thing. I don't know if it was before. I just know he got caught with Devin Haney, and that's the only thing I can judge him off on what happened with Devin Haney. I can't look at and speculate anything else. But I mean I say Mario Barrio has the skill to be able to beat Ryan Garcia, but Mario Barrio he looked so bad in his last 2 fights. It's
Yeah,
like
he looked horrible.
yeah,
He
people
looked
looking at
horrible.
those, they looking at those fights and like, man, He should have lost to Abel Ramos. He almost lost to Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao's been out of the ring for 4 years. So they looking at those and they're like, hold up, Mario Barrios and Ryan Garcia. Ryan lost to Tank Davis. He lost to Keith Thurman. Those guys are better than Abel Ramos. Those guys are better than a 47-year-old Manny Pacquiao. So that's why I think a lot of people are picking Ryan over Mario Barrios. But he has the skills to beat Ryan. It's just a matter of does he still have that hunger that he had when he was fighting Tank Davis, when he was fighting Keith Thurman.
Yeah. I just think, man, and it just all rolls into one. Boxing just leaves you so unsatisfied. And I see why so many people that left, man, that left the sport and start talking about other stuff. I even thought about doing some reviews on certain stuff because, man, I get so tired of coming up here and the fights ain't made. We don't know why the fight ain't happening. And then you got Bill in there cussing the other guy out. It's like, come on, man. Like, when we gonna get some real fights that we don't know the doggone winner to? Most of the fights I see is like 70-30. You know, when the last time you seen a genuinely fair fight? I remember when they tried to say Brian Norman versus Devin's a fair fight. No, it was not. Devin was gonna watch him from the gate because Devin had seen him before, but Brian had never seen him. You guys realize that Brian Norman Jr. fought Devin Haney before Jerron Boots Ennis did? Y'all realize that?
We realize it. We realize it, and it's the fact that this, just like my man Free just said about Mario Barrios' last performances, though we know your resume and we know your cachet, we don't know who you're going to be the night of the fight when you go in there. Are you going to be the guy that we expect? Are you going to be a different type of guy, i.e. Devin Haney versus, what's the boy name? Ramirez. He was a different fighter than when he was in the ring with Ryan Regis and with Brian Norman. He was a different guy. So we never know what we're going to get on that given Sunday. You know, on that given Sunday, we just know a guy's cachet. Second of all around is, you say 70-30 fights. When you get in these fights, you know, one punch can change the outcome. Just like, what's the guy that beat Joseph Parker? I guess he's a champion now. What's the guy's name that just beat Joseph Parker?
You're talking about Fabio Worley.
There you go, Fabio Worley. That dude was tired, bro. That dude was tired and happened to end up getting Joseph Parker up out of there late. Let's just say he didn't have the rest of that energy. You know what I'm saying? That's the easy win for Joseph Parker. We had Parker winning that fight. So when Wilder got in there with Parker, we like, man, this dude just knocked this dude out in one round. He about to destroy Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker walked Deontay down, and I'm a Deontay fan, but he walked him down. It's a lot of fights that we may say is a toss-up, but when we watch it, it'd be a little different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not all fights are predetermined.
Well, most of the fights that we've gotten, especially on pay-per-view, they were predetermined. I mean, we already know Tank is going to beat Frank Martin. We already know Shakur is going to beat Willie Zepeda, Josh Padley. We know that. We know that Teal's going to beat Steve Claggett.
And we also thought
thought
Tank Davis was going to beat Lamont Roach, and we see something totally different. We also thought that.
I mean, there were some people that thought Frank Martin was going to win that fight against Tank Davis. It wasn't. Everybody didn't think that Tank Davis was going to win that fight. There was a lot of people that thought Frank Martin was going to win. They were definitely behind Frank Martin. And I remember it. There were some guys that was behind Frank Martin.
I remember them too, Free.
Salute the sorry, babe. Salute, appreciate you coming through.
It wasn't a bad pick because Frank Martin got killed. He got power. It's just Tank Davis was just smarter than him. And Tank Davis knew at the weigh-in, Frank Martin can't make his weight. He made his weight just to make money. He can't make his weight. It was hard for him to cut weight. He said it.
My favorite fight of Tank Davis' career is when he fought Mario Barrios, because Mario's about 6'1", and looking at Tank, you know, Tank's petite like a lady. He's like a woman's height, real little bitty dude. And you can just see him. You can see him looking up at Mario Barrios. And man, it was so cool because Tank actually went in there and stopped it. He stopped. If you gotta remember, he stopped Mario Barrios and he stopped Rolly Romero at the smaller weights.
Oh,
and think about it.
Tank used his IQ. He said, "I'm gonna make him come at me. I'm the smaller guy. I'm gonna have to get past his jab to get to the inside. So what I gotta do is I gotta tire him out. Once I tire him out and I can land my shot, I know I can hurt him. And that's what Tank did. He tired him out, made him chase him around, and then he got him tired. And then Tank Davis was able to walk in. Because towards the end of that fight, Tank Davis started walking Mario Barrio down. Mario Barrio was on the back foot. So
That's a fact, Free. But hold on for a second. 1 second, Free. My bad. Let's not act like this man and just say what he just said that was horrible and diabolical, bro. Where is your mind at, BVO, when you just said this man was petite like a lady?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Bro, you are out of pocket and out of line. I'm sorry, Free. Go ahead, Free. I had to check him, Free. My bad.
You on the gas, man. Get off the gas, man. Get off the
you
gas.
out of pocket for that, bro. You know you wrong for that.
I didn't even say nothing, man. You just look at what they say. You looking for a pickle to pull, man.
Bro, you called that man little and petite. Petite
that's
like a
what
lady.
he is. He about 5'3".
Yeah, that was crazy though.
Hey,
What a mess.
My hand soft like lady. That's all I can. That's all I can see when he said that. Rest in peace to Bernie Mac.
I didn't even think like that. You know, I see what your mind is.
when it comes to boxing, you can have a guy in there that's more skilled. And I think Bernard said it best yesterday. You can have a guy that's in there that's more skilled than the other guy, but if the other guy is smarter than the guy that's more skilled, he can win that fight because he can outthink him. He can set him up. So it's not always the guy that's most skilled that's going to win the fight. It's usually the guy that's smarter that can make an adjustment. Those are the guys that usually win those tough fights because everybody's going to get into a tough fight at some point in their career. You're going to get into a tough fight. It's can you make an adjustment and can you outthink your opponent? If you can't make the adjustment, you can't outthink your opponent, 9 times out of 10, you're going to lose that fight.
I mean, I don't know, Free. I'm just at the point now with boxing where I'm just so tired of. Remember when Deontay Wilder fought Robert Helenius? You knew he was gonna beat him. You knew it. It wasn't like. I mean, I don't know. It seemed like I don't know if you guys ever used to watch movies. Ain't nothing worse than watching the movie again. That's an action movie. You already seen it. It takes the whole fun of seeing it. And I feel like that's what boxing has been.
Everybody knew that Jaime McGill was going to beat that dude with only 4 knockouts, but we saw what happened in that fight.
Yeah, Jaime went on this game.
He got smoked.
He got sparked out. I mean,
so like I said, it's not always the guy that's more skilled. It's the guy that can outthink and make adjustments. Because I saw that right hand coming. He kept trying for that right hand the entire night. He kept trying. I said, "Dog, this man got to watch out for this right hand." We was calling the fight live. Like, you got to watch out for that right hand. He keeps trying to throw that right hand, and Jaime walked right into it. And he got caught. Went straight to sleep.
yeah.
And Free, you know another one. What's the guy from Terror Squad that just fought? What's his name? He just fought the Arab dude and got life beat out of him.
Oh, you talking about Belinga?
But Berlanga, when he just got life beat out of him, people thought that he was gonna whoop dude, and
I
we
didn't.
seen him get slapped.
I didn't.
I told her, I said, no.
I don't think nobody thought that, man.
None of us picked Berlanga insane.
I said I had Faraz winning by decision. I didn't have him knocking him out. I said he was going to win by decision. I was surprised by the knockout because I didn't think that Faraz had that power. I knew that he can punch a little bit, but I didn't know how he was going to look at 68. I didn't know he was going to be able to bring that power that he had at 60 to 68 because I was looking at his last fight. Granted, he had a messed up hand or whatever in that fight, but he never looked like he had that type of power when he was at 60. So I didn't pick the knockout, but I did pick Faraz to win that fight.
Well,
but a lot of people thought Belinga was going to knock him out. A lot of people said, "Oh, Faraz ain't ready for this." Belinga was in there with Canelo, and that was the only loss he got on his record. And so a lot of people did believe that Belinga was going to win that fight. But
if you thought that they're the same people that dip their cigarettes in embalming fluid. You can't listen to them. That's one of the things where it's like it makes no sense because you know what's good and you know what's not. And I'm telling y'all, the fights we've been getting and we've been getting have been garbage. Look at Tank Davis, one of the biggest dudes in boxing. Look at Canelo. These dudes have purposely not fought decent competition. And y'all know Canelo's my guy.
Well, I'm not gonna say that
Pers-
about Canelo. I'm not gonna say that because Canelo
Bro,
did
he
give you
only fought Bud. He only fought Bud for the money. If he could have
he fought,
found another way to get some money, not fighting Bud, he was going to do it.
but
I
he
know
fought,
Canelo.
but he fought another undisputed champion as well. It's not my fault that other undisputed champion didn't come to fight. It's not my fault. And I think if they'd have fought at a smaller weight class that Charlo would have won? I do believe that. But I want to bring up another fight that I personally watched. The first Tim Tszyu versus Sebastian Fundora fight. A lot of guys thought that Tim Tszyu was gonna wash Fundora, and we see Fundora putting hands, feet, elbows, ankles, knees, and toes on him.
Well, technically, Tim Tszyu was washing Fundora until he got caught with the elbow. When he got
When he
caught
got
with
cut,
the elbow,
yeah.
When that cut
When he got
happened, it
cut,
changed
it
the
was on.
game.
when he
Yeah.
got cut, it changed the entire fight. And I blame that loss on his corner. I said that they should have stopped that fight because Tim Tszyu was up on everybody's card. He was
Yeah.
up on everybody's card. They should have stopped that fight. They should have said, no, we can't continue. There's too much blood. We can't stop the bleeding. But
Like
no,
with Stitch, like what
they
Uncle
wanted to-
Stitch did with
they
Kalisko.
thought Tim Tszyu was going to knock him out. They wanted to put a highlight reel together, and he ended up losing. So I blame that loss on his corner because he was whooping Fundora prior to the cut.
Yeah, he was winning.
Okay,
He was
Free.
winning. He was getting.
What
He was
about the
getting
second
off.
fight?
Because I'm gonna be
Tim
honest.
Tszyu got washed. That
Yeah,
What
was
he
about
a
the
got
wash.
second
smoked.
fight?
He got smoked out.
That was a wash.
Because that fight right there made Sebastian who he is right now. Because now Sebastian knows he can fight from mid-range and the outside now. Sebastian usually only fought on the inside.
On the inside, get his head beat
That
in.
fight,
Smothering all his work.
yeah, that fight he figured out. I can use my jab and keep these guys on the outside.
Yeah, I still don't think he's all that though. He's cool.
And I'm gonna bring up something. I'm gonna bring up a couple more topics we got to get to because we're gonna have a nice show today. Man, we got to talk about this. So we keep seeing the Mexican Pussycat came out again being a coward and said he's not going to address Ja Obata until it's time. Now, when you hear about a guy that's going to cruiserweight, when did you guys ever think we would see David Benavidez get castrated to where he won't even say a man's name, so he want to wait till he get done with the fight before he says anything else about Ja? Were you guys surprised that he became a eunuch this way?
He got other business.
He's not the only one that
done
ever did
He's done
that.
that before. He's done that before. He did the same thing with David Morrell. When David Morrell was calling him out. Now, Ja Obata didn't call him out. David Morrell did call him out, and he said he's like, the guy ain't ready for this. I'm not gonna speak on him. I'm getting ready for my fight. So he did the same thing with David Morrell, but I'm not mad at what David said because he said I'm focusing on my fight. He has a fight already lined up. Once that fight is signed, sealed, and delivered, all we need is Zordo to get past his opponent. If Zordo makes it past his opponent, that is the next fight that's happening for David Benavidez. It's already signed. It just Zordo got to finish his side of the business.
Yeah, they want to make some money.
I'm not
I hope
mad at
Zordo beat him. I don't think
He's
Zordo
not.
can, but I hope he beat his black ass. I'm so tired of
Zordo is not
Benavidez.
even that good, bro.
David Benavidez is an absolute fraud, man. He's a fraud.
The same way you feel about David
Hating on
Benavidez,
your own
the same
Mexican
way-
people.
The same way you feel about David Benavidez, the same way we feel about Theo. I hope the court whoop his black ass. Same way you, because
Hold
the
on,
difference, but the difference between David Benavidez and Tio is David Benavidez fought everybody except for one person that ducked him.
Hold on. It's the same dude that told me he want to fight a 41-year-old man and Beterbiev. That's what he said. He want his next fight to be versus Beterbiev.
No, that's what Turkey want.
Man, I don't know about none of that.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he said he wants to fight a 41-year-old Arthur, or if he said he wants to fight a 27-year-old Bivol. He's doing stuff that nobody else is doing. He fought David Morrell. He turned around for Anthony Yarde. He's about to fight Zordo.
Andre,
He's going to try to get the Arthur
Caleb
fight.
Plant.
He's going to try to get the Bivol fight, and he's going to try to get the Ja Obata fight. There's nobody
Bivol
else
was
that-
ducking free. He act like he don't want to fight.
That's the reason why
Bivol been ducking David
That's the reason why
Benavidez.
David Benavidez is a champ. But there's nobody else in that. There's nobody else doing that. Nobody else doing it.
I feel you say what you saying, Free, But it's the thing. Why do you want to become unified in the division where a guy got the Ring magazine and the IBF? Why wouldn't you go fight him right next?
He's going to be unified. He's going to be the WBC and what's the other belt that Zordon got?
The WBA. He got the WBA.
Yeah, so he's going to be unified. He's going to be the WBC and the WBA champion. And then they will fight for the third belt, which is the IBF and the linear belt. And then there's one more belt left out there that daggone what's the phrase just lost.
The WBC, my man Noel beat Bottle Jack.
Yeah, Bottle Jack just lost his belt, so there's one more belt left out there. He just lost his belt. So
see, I don't get it, free. Like, why don't you admit that David is ducking, man?
No,
I can admit what Canelo was ducking.
This is the problem that I have with you. You cannot duck somebody if you don't send him an offer. So you're telling me that you want David to send John Obertine an offer, but you're not telling me that you want John Obertine to send David an offer. You keep saying
David is the A side, free. No, you know it.
That's not what you told me. You said John Obertine is the number one guy in the division.
That's what he is. I'm talking about far as pay-per-view. It's clear that David Benavidez is the A side. He's actually been on pay-per-view before.
Who is John Obertine with? Who is he with?
John Obertine's with Matchroom.
He's with
and Turkey, pretty much. Pretty much, yes.
Okay,
yeah.
So if he's with Turkey, Turkey is the one that's making David Benavidez fight outside of the Zotto fight. So if Turkey is the one that's making David Benavidez fight outside of this Zotto fight, why Turkey ain't saying, David, instead of you getting Arthur and you getting Laval, we want you to fight John next?
See, I don't know how the business works on that.
So you can't say that the man's ducking this.
Man, the whole world know he hasn't even said John's name.
If they're not sending him an offer, you cannot say that the man is ducking. Like I told you before, the only person I said that I heard say that they want that fight next, or they want that fight. And they didn't say next. He said he want that fight. Is David Benavidez. I didn't hear John say I want David Benavidez. He just said this is my division. But he didn't say, I want to fight David Benavidez. He said, this is my division.
See, you see that? That's one thing I love about Free. Free want to go on words. Huh?
The same vocal cord you use to say that phrase, you can use the same vocal cord and say, man, forget, go don't fight me. I'm the guy at this division. You can use the same vocal cord to say that phrase.
Hey, one thing about Free, man, the brother's slick, man. That's a slick black nigga for you, man.
That's
but
crazy.
I'll say this, man. So we're not gonna admit that David is ducking. So that's fine. But let me ask you guys this. When we talk about boxing, man, what is next? What is next at the light heavyweight division if we still waiting on Bivol and Beterbiev? Do you guys think Morella do anything? Because I seen Morella like he lost his last fight. I mean, he won on, technically, but I thought that guy kicked his ass. What did you guys think about that fight?
I don't think that guy kicked his ass. I think Morella won that fight. I think Morella won that fight 8-4. I give the guy a couple
He
of
went
rounds.
Down. You looking at it because he went down.
Yeah, I give
He was on his pocket sleep. I'm about to go to sleep.
No,
what are y'all talking about?
DVO. Once again, you judge the entire fight off of one round. There's 11 other rounds that happened in that fight, or 9 other rounds that happened in that fight. You can't judge a fight off of one round.
We thought the man was unalive, dog. That's how bad it was.
This is why I tell you, it doesn't matter how bad it was. It was only one round. You're not going to get 17 points for one round.
No, you're not.
Okay, so this is why I tell y'all every time we watching this fight, I say score the fight yourself. Don't listen to what the judges are saying. Don't listen to what the commentators are saying. You watch the fight and you score it how you see it, and you tell me what was your score at the end of that fight. And then when you come up with your score, have it on paper. Don't just say, oh, I gave that round to him. I gave that round to him. No, have it on paper and add it up at the end of that fight. And you tell me who you had winning that fight. Then you could say, I got an argument because I had this guy winning these many rounds, and I believe he won by this amount. But
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that because I see.
Well, he was on his pocket So what? David Benavidez was on his pocket. He didn't lose a fight in his entire career.
David stay on his pockets. They call him Pocket Man.
Floyd went down. He didn't lose a fight in his entire
Because he
career.
broke his hand. Free stop.
It
See how
doesn't
you do
matter.
stuff in no contest?
It does not matter. I'm telling you, there's other guys that been down and still didn't lose the fight.
There's a
Because
record
record
to see.
now. He got up.
a guy that goes down does not mean he lose the fight because he went down. You got to judge the entire fight, not just one round.
Man, you talking about a nigga who was shaking his hand and his hand was broken. But I like how Free do that, man.
No, I just use it as an excuse of a guy going down. I just use it as an excuse of a guy going down. I'm not saying that Floyd lost and got beat up in that fight. I'm saying he went down. You saying, oh, David Morrell was down. But David Morrell was winning the fight when he went down. He was winning the fight. Like I said, I gave the guy like 4 rounds.
I'll just say this, man. Maybe just me, that 5th and 6th round, I thought he was whooping David's black ass. I don't know what you was watching. That 5th and 6th round, he was putting hands on him.
Okay, you heard what you said. You said the 5th and 6th round. So the 5th and 6th round, you only gave the guy 2 rounds. I said the guy won 4 rounds. So you had David Benavidez.
I didn't have it written down. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have it written down because I'm not gonna let you slide. Because just because somebody is black or something, you're giving them lens. I'm gonna make sure I write it down going forward.
I'm going by what the facts are. The facts are the guy won 4 rounds on my scorecard. The facts on your scorecards, from what you're telling me, the guy only won 2 rounds because that's the only 2 rounds you gave me.
That's the only ones I can remember offhand, man. I like how you do that.
That's the point that I'm making. That's the point that I'm making. I remember 4 rounds that I gave the guy. You only remember 2.
I only remember 2 because I thought because I had never really seen Morrell getting beat up like that. He was getting beat up. But I'll say this. When it comes to boxing, I'm thinking like we spoke about this earlier, man. I need to get your opinion on it, Free, because you were just coming in. But what do you think about the paywall and making people pay for everything in boxing? Is that why boxing is dying, in your opinion?
Making people pay for everything in boxing?
As far as when it comes to the best fights being behind a paywall.
No, I wouldn't say that's the reason why boxing is the way it is. I would say it's the fighters. The fighters are too greedy. Their eyes are bigger than what they're doing, or their want is bigger than what they're generating. Everybody wants to get $1 million fight. Everybody wants a multi-million-dollar fight, but they're not generating that money. They were like, oh, well, people come out to see me. Okay, but let's go to the books. Let's show you what your numbers are. This fight that you tell me what was your biggest fight. They tell me, oh, I did great numbers at such as I saw the stadium was packed. Well, this is what we generated for that fight. You telling me you worth how much?
Yeah.
This is the problem with a lot of these fighters because they see the arena is packed. They don't know. They only charge us $65 for the tickets. Yeah, the arena's packed because the tickets are cheap.
You're a funny dude, Free.
I mean, just like Tio. Tio go, oh, I didn't even make $1 million in the daggone Josh Taylor fight. You was in the Hulu theater that said 5,500 people, and you couldn't sell that out. How do you expect to get more than $1 million? You couldn't sell out the Hulu theater.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think a lot of these, and I ask you this, Fries. You watch Bottle Rap a little more than I did for sure. Let me ask you this, man. When you look at like battle rap, do you think if they would have moved Mook better, it would have changed the way people perceive battle rap? And I think they didn't move Tank better, so now or Canelo better. That's why we didn't get what we needed out of those stars. What would you say?
I think they moved. I think Smack moved Mook good. Mook today is still one of the top battle rappers. Like when Sue Surf come home, he probably take a little, knock the rust off, and that's the next battle that they probably can actually generate some money off of. So I think they moved him. I think they moved him okay. It's like he been in, he been in tons of battles. He either won some, he didn't lost some. But I think they moved him fine.
Yeah,
But
I
Tank is
mean,
another story.
yeah, but Mook is considered like one of the legends or pioneers of battle rap.
Yeah.
He's not like these other guys. Like they got guys like Mook. Um, what's the guy from New York from Harlem?
I like Charlie Clips. You talking about Hollow?
Uh, No, no,
Not
it's
Hollow, Loaded Lux.
Loaded Lux.
Yeah.
He's another legend in battle rap. There's a couple of guys they got out there that still
And he
do
got
battle rap.
Rock. Rock still official.
Yeah, it's a couple of guys that still do battle rap, but they're considered legends. So it's not the same as these younger guys. These younger guys are making a name for themselves. These guys started the battle rapping, or pretty much was at in the battle rapping in the very beginning stages of battle rapping when they
When
started
it
doing this
turned
stuff.
over to like mainstream,
Yeah,
like
when they started doing this stuff, these guys was the guys that was what these guys are now. That was them back then, and so they looked at as legends. It's like Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence. These young guys coming up, those guys are legends to them because these are the guys that was fighting years before they even got into pro boxing. So that's how it is with Murder Mook and Loaded Lux and all those guys. So I don't think that is they're moving different. I think battle rapping evolved. Guys got nicer. Guys did more studying it on their craft and got better at battle rapping. So they're like, hold on, these guys are better than these guys. Well, it always evolves. You're always going to think somebody's better because of what they're doing now that they wasn't doing back then. So I don't think it's wrong.
So let me ask you this, Free. Hold on, we got a little echo. Let me ask you this, Free. So we talk about boxing like we were talking about it. What do you think about the Tank Davis situation? We got him arrested. They got a warrant for his arrest in Miami Gardens. Most people know that's Carroll City. That's where Ricky Rose is from. My guy Gunplay's from there. A lot of people are from Chelsea. That's across the bridge. What do you think about Tank Davis again being wanted for charges for abusing a woman? What would you say?
No, it's the same case. It's the same case that the
No,
lady
no,
has.
I'm talking about it's another. I'm just saying it's another warrant out for his arrest. I'm not talking about the case. I'm just saying this is the first time he's been arrested for this. What do you think
I
about this?
mean, I thought about it the first time we heard about it back in October. I mean, he gotta make better judgment. I'm not going to convict the man until he have his day in court. Um, but I mean, he got to make better judgment. I mean, at this point, people talking about, oh, what's next for Tank Davis? Well, if they put out a arrest warrant, what's next for Tank Davis is he's about to serve out the rest of his probation in jail because he
Yeah,
is on probation. So that arrest warrant just violated his probation. So he's about to go away for a couple of years.
yeah. And let me ask you this: because I'm being all and it should and being sincere, because I know you know a lot about helping people. If you knew somebody who struggled with domestic violence and not being able to control their anger, what was something that you would say to help them, Free?
Uh, they gotta go to therapy. They gotta go to anger management. They gotta go to therapy because they dealing with some inner anger, inner demons that they haven't got over. And it could be stimulating from his childhood, things that his mother put him through because he was left out on the street because his mother had a drug problem. So
Huh?
it could be some inner demons that he's dealing with that he needs to go through therapy.
And then my whole thing is this: when you see a guy kind of getting into it for the same thing, can we honestly say it's a problem? Because what I always hear people say, especially those that support Tank, is if he's doing all that, he should be locked up. But I just believe if that was Tank doing what he's been doing to your daughter or that person's daughter, I don't think they'd be so lean. Am I wrong to think that?
Um, it, I'm not gonna say they wouldn't be so lenient because you still want to have people say we got to find out what happened because you only getting one side. We haven't heard, or and we none of us have seen the actual video, and because some people might see the video and be like, oh, it's not as bad as people say it is. Some people might say it is bad. So we gotta. I'm not gonna say that they're not gonna be so lenient because I've seen guys get off. I've seen guys get off on a domestic dispute. I've seen women get off on domestic dispute. So it's just a matter of he got to have his day in court. The only problem is Tank Davis is already on probation, so
Yeah.
he's going to go away for some time. But when it comes to domestic dispute, it's always two sides to a story, and rightfully so. A man shouldn't put his hands on a woman, and I'm not saying this situation. I'm not speaking in this situation particularly. A man shouldn't put his hands on a woman, but in some circumstances, a man might only have a choice of putting his hands on a woman because we don't know what that woman is trying to do to that man at that particular time. The dispute is going on because I've seen situations where we got called out for a domestic dispute and we automatically build up in our mind that we about to take this guy to jail, and then when we get there, we find out she's the aggressor. He's just trying to defend himself. She's the aggressor. So we say a man should put his hands on a woman, but you're not in that situation at that time. Sometimes it might be the only option for him to defend himself. She could have something in her hand. She could be trying to do all kinds of things, and the only defense that he got is to use his own.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I just say this thing with Tank is I've never seen a guy this popular that can't stop beating up women. I've never seen it.
Well,
Like I've
we don't
never
know
seen it,
what he
man.
did.
It's
We
crazy.
haven't seen the tape yet, so
Hold on, See, and that's the thing I'm saying, Franz. I mean, you got daughters. If a dude was putting his hands on one of our daughters, you wouldn't be talking like that, bro.
yeah, I wouldn't need no tape.
I'm just trying to tell you, man. Hey, I'm gonna tell you something that my grandma told me. Y'all can tell me if I'm wrong. Well, I used to get in trouble, and I say, Grandma, I ain't do that stuff. My grandma said, Boy, everybody ain't lying. Everybody ain't lying on him. That's all I'm trying to get the case, make the case of. People make it seem like everybody's lying on this nigga. Nobody's lying on him, free.
No, I'm not. I'm like I said. I don't. I haven't seen the tape. I don't know what's in the tape, and I'm not saying nobody's lying on him. But let's say, and like I said, I'm not talking about Tank Davis. I'm just putting out an example. Like, cause y'all said
Yeah.
if somebody put their hands on your daughter, you're not trying to hear that. But let's say somebody put their hands on your daughter, and you find out that your daughter was trying to stab him, and that's the reason why he punched her to get the weapon out of her hand.
That's a whole
Then
different case,
I
free.
still don't give a damn.
No, you can say you still don't give a damn, but so you telling me if a woman was coming at you with a knife, you just gonna say, "Hey, stop! Don't! I'm not gonna put my hands on you. Just don't
No,
stab
I
me."
didn't say what I would do. I'm saying if that
Let me
happened to
drop
my
this on
daughter.
you, free. Let me drop this on you. Every man that's on this panel right now that took a shot from a woman because there ain't no woman beater. I'm gonna keep it right. I'm keeping it buck with you. Me, you, Prize have all got punched in the face by a woman because we ain't no woman beater.
Yeah, I definitely got hit.
Yeah.
So what we talking about?
I'm not.
What we
I'm not
talking about, free? I'm
No,
talking about I'm not talking about on the arm. I'm talking about in the face, dog.
No, listen. I like I said, I understand how I am. I can control myself, but that doesn't mean everybody can control themselves. Some people might say, "You put your hands on me, I'm putting my hands back on you." Everybody don't have that self control. So yeah, we might look at him like, "Hey, dog, you shouldn't have put your hands on a woman," but somebody need to say something to her because she put her hands on him, which made him put his hands on her.
Yeah, we don't know, but see, the thing about Tank is the last video we seen, he was dragging her out of a club or a basketball game or something. That's the
No, that's
difference. So
not.
the chick
I
was
mean,
not armed.
that was a whole different situation. That was a
Yeah, I
whole
know. I'm just saying the last video we saw though.
yeah, but I mean, nah, that's not the last video we saw. That was a video we saw.
Yeah,
I don't know.
The
All I
last
know
video
is
I
we
I
wasn't
seen
saw,
a
trying to do
woman.
that. I
the
was trying to
last
act like I
video
didn't remember that other
saw,
video.
we saw he had spit on his face, and he had boo boo on his toothbrush. So, I mean, like I said, he just needs to make better judgment. But if he's doing what he is being charged for, Well, he's going to get it when he goes to jail. He's going to get anger management. That's one of the things they're gonna probably say he has to go through anger management and therapy. Probably one of his things that he's got to go through. But if he doesn't get that, that's something that he needs to get. He needs to get anger management classes. He needs to go through therapy because he's dealing with some inner anger that probably stimulated from his childhood.
Yeah, I get what you said, Fred. It's a sad situation all the way around the board. I just think that
No, Trey, I'm not speaking about Tank David. I was just speaking in general
about taking on drugs. You don't hear about him drinking, huh?
No, I was talking to somebody in the chat. I said I wasn't speaking on Tank Davis. I was just speaking in general because we said, oh, no man should put a hand on a woman, and I said certain circumstances might cause for a man to put his hands on a woman. Every circumstance is not the same.
Now, if you're trying to defend yourself from bodily harm, that's different.
Yeah.
That's a whole different
In
thing.
other words, if you in a club and your girl get mad at you and throw a drink in your face in front of everybody, you don't whoop her and you don't beat her up.
No.
You don't beat her up in the club, and then when you get home, you still don't put your hands on her.
Oh,
That don't cause for. I mean, a drink.
Now she coming at you with a knife or something. I mean, you might gotta. I mean,
hey
that's
man,
different.
you gotta take your boot off and go to
I
work.
don't care if my daughter come at you with a knife and you beat her up. We still gonna fight. But I suggest you just let her stab you. Let her stab you.
And she ain't stabbing me, dude.
Cause you ain't gonna be dating my daughter.
You gonna sit there and let your daughter stab my son and be like, hey dog, my son ain't put his hands on you, so we gotta do something about this.
All right, I got you. I got all the doctor bills.
Hey.
And we're gonna give you and we're gonna apologize and we'll pay you off and we'll make it so you don't press charges.
We about to get paid. Okay, we about to get paid. We your entire family.
I know that's right.
Y'all was the reason why she act like this.
And that's why it's very important to protect your daughters. You know, like when BBO say, what's the, your last words, I always say protect your kids or whatever. Not just your daughters, but your kids. But I'm just talking about daughters right now, and that's why I got my daughter in jiu-jitsu, because if a man try to grab her like Tank did and pull her out somewhere, she knows how to defend herself. I ain't saying she gonna be able to beat him, but you're not gonna just whoop my daughter like that because she's good at jiu-jitsu and she's only 12 and she's the size of a grown-up already.
At the same token, we said Tank got to make better decisions.
Yeah.
But these women got to make better decisions too. It's not like Tank is just a regular dude around the neighborhood and a girl got with him. This is a celebrity. He's been on the news. He has a history of doing this.
They got the U.S. Marshals after him, free. He's on the run right now.
I ain't gonna say all that. But
no, that's what the article is. He has the U.S. Marshals looking for him. That ain't what you gonna. That's real. That's real.
U.S. Marshals.
We're gonna report the story. We're gonna report the story right here on BVO Box.
Wow, the U.S. Marshals. That's serious.
They brought the U.S. Marshals in because there's a possibility of him being a flight risk.
And the bad part about it, when I dug into that article, it was saying that the chick was like, I don't want to say the chick, I take that back. The young lady that's in the victim, the alleged victim, basically was saying they was falling back, waiting to see, chill, we gonna do this outside of court, da-da-da-da. And then Tank was the one prolonging. So they went forward with their paperwork, and he could have been settled that. Like, I would have just I would have just tried to fix it, before it gets to this late. But then, like, D Free just said, man, you got to watch who you chilling with. Y'all young brothers, man, they got that bag, man. Y'all chill regular, bro. I'm telling you. Don't even come out the crib unless you really, truly got somewhere to go. Don't just make up something to do.
Let me play a video in Tank's words of how he does his abuse. 1 second.
And once I seen her, I grabbed her by her neck. I just I grabbed her like I should.
Hey, Tank, man, you sick, man.
What a match! Shout out to BBO Sports TV.
That's all I can check. The man is trying to justify grabbing a woman's throat, man. That's what the man said. Did you see that, Free?
And once I seen her, it's not I grabbed her by her neck. I just told her I grabbed her like I should.
Hey, Tank, man, you sick, man.
What?
He grabbed her by her shirt.
He said I grabbed her by her shirt. I didn't grab her by her throat.
What's the
And
difference?
I think that was an old video. I think that was about the basketball situation.
Well, that was, but I'm just saying, what's the difference, Free? I feel like this. As nice as Free can be, I would be scared to be the dude that drag Free's daughter out the doggone basketball game by her shirt.
No, I'm gonna put it like this. There's a major difference. Yes, I'm gonna be mad about both, but there's a major difference if a dude grab my daughter by her shirt and a dude grab my daughter by her throat. There's a major difference.
No, it ain't.
There's a
If
major
a dude grab my daughter by the throat or the shirt and drag her out of anywhere, any event, we have a major problem.
Did you not hear what I just said? I said I'm gonna be mad about both.
Yeah,
But
you did
there's
say
a
that.
major difference than grabbing by her throat and grabbing by her shirt. Because you grab her
I
by her
don't see.
throat,
I see. I see both as.
you were trying to grab her, but you still don't put your hands up. But you grab her by her throat. Oh no, you hell no.
He grabbed my daughter. He grabbed my daughter. My daughter gonna try to wrestle him down. Matter of fact, my daughter is his height already. Ain't he like 5'5"? My 12-year-old 5'5", and she's tough.
Grabbing by the shirt. You grab somebody by the shirt
And drag a girl out of the basketball game.
No, listen. Y'all,
Let me
you're not
finish,
listening to what I'm saying. You're not listening to what I'm saying.
I'm trolling.
I'm not talking about that situation. Y'all stuck on one thing. I said grabbing by the shirt is different than grabbing by the throat. And what I'm saying is, if you grab me by my shirt, you grab me by my shirt, or I grab my wife by the shirt, they're gonna be like, no, you ain't got to be grabbing her up like that, dog. That's your wife. You ain't got to grab her up like that. But if I grab my wife by my throat, somebody call the police for me. They're calling the police. That's an automatic phone call to the police. No, this man about to whoop this girl ass. He grabbed her by the throat and everything. But if I grab her by her shirt, they're like, "Yo, come on, man, you ain't gotta do that, yo. Why you doing that?"
Yeah, that dude,
Still
man.
domestic violence both ways.
Yeah, it's all domestic to
Let
me.
me say,
It's still
let me
domestic.
say, let me say this. My man said, bro, stop comparing your daughter to the face of boxing groupies. I'm gonna tell you something real that niggas don't tell you. She might, whoever that is a groupie, but that's somebody's daughter, bro.
Yeah, I feel you. He right
I'll
though.
just say, and this is what I tell you young niggas who say crazy stuff like that.
Nigga, keep God in your life. Fuck, nigga, keep God in your life.
Nah, he right though. Like, yeah, he right. I shouldn't. You right about that. I'm not gonna compare.
I get what you're saying, but come on, bro.
Right.
You gotta protect the groupies too, man. I'm gonna tell you something real. When you hear about that whole Tupac situation where the young lady said somebody took advantage of her, if Tupac would have just had a conversation with her, said, "Hey, come here, let's talk. Let's go on the escalator. Let's calm down. Let's figure this out." It would have went a lot different than when he told this girl, "Get this B out of here." Niggas got to know how to handle women better than that, bro. You can't handle women like that.
Some niggas don't. Some niggas not gonna get it. They never gonna get it. Look at Zion. He's never gonna get it.
Zion is not really doing nothing wrong, bro. Zion is
the BBL bandit is on a loose right now.
That's what he likes. That's what he likes. You got to remember, he like buying tail. You got to be honest. If you grew up in the neighborhood, people like to buy tail.
Yeah.
Free is from DC, man. That's the home of the pimps and players, man.
I
agree
with what BBL said about the Tupac situation, but then you got to put yourself in Tupac's situation. A girl will just accuse you of rape or grape.
Yeah.
They just accuse you of grape. You're like, man, get this hard out of here, man. I ain't do no crazy stuff like that. But he's not thinking that she's going to push forward with it. He's like, man, I didn't do that, so I don't even know what she's talking about. She's trying to get some money out of me. But she put
that girl said the girl
Zion,
that
the
did
BBL
it,
bandit.
her name is Ariana something.
Who?
This the girl that said Tupac raped her.
Man, why are we talking about that?
Listen, because this is what young men got to understand. She never said Tupac raped her. She said his homeboys did. I'm saying if Tupac would have grabbed her up and said, "Hey, you know what, honey, come in, let me talk to you. Let's go downstairs real quick and talk." And and they would have figured it out, maybe went on another day, have fun, blah, blah, blah. Whatever the case may have been, it would have never happened that way. Dudes have lost the art of speaking to women and understanding what's going on because women are emotional. I mean, that's just what it. And
if I'm having a party, BBO, and somebody and there's a crying girl at my party, I'm definitely going to comfort her.
We stopping everything. We stopping everything.
Who did it? Till you show me who did it. Hell no, bro. I've been in a situation to where it was something like that. You know what I mean? I was having a party. I think it was my 16th birthday party. I was at the Hilton. I got a room at the Hilton. We was on the rooftop. They had just built it. And we was up there partying. There was a girl up there, and one of the homies, something I don't know what happened, but all I know is I cleaned shop after that. I was like, who, what, when, and they got to go. And then I told her, you want to drink? You stay with me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, hold on, this room.
Von Burns. This is what I'm gonna say to you, man.
It ain't registered. He said, nigga, he still ain't registered.
He talking like you sound like one of them them dudes that be having a hard way to go. Go ahead, Insane.
Let me ask y'all. Am I bad about that earlier? I had to take an important call.
Nah, go ahead.
I asked this question earlier, and since somebody said Zion, I just want to ask just one question. Can somebody please tell me the crime that Ja Morant committed?
Which one?
Being a dumb nigga with $1 million. When he put hands on that little dude in his backyard like that, why would you do that? Y'all stumped this nigga out in your backyard for what?
Yeah, for what?
No, I did not.
What did he get? Hold on. What did he get out of that?
Dev, I ain't see that.
I wasn't talking about that.
I thought you were talking about the firearm in the
That's
club.
what I'm talking about, D-Free. That's what I'm speaking on.
That name is crazy, though.
You can't.
It's his constitutional right.
This is what I'm telling you, Insane.
Hold on, BVO. It's his constitutional right. He's not a felon. He hasn't committed a crime.
Not in the private property. You can't have it. You can't have it in the club. Just because you got a license to carry concealed, that doesn't mean you can carry your firearm anywhere you go. You can't carry it anywhere. You got to follow the law because you'll get locked up.
They usually have signs saying where you can't carry it, but I believe the problem was that he was showing it on social media. That's his constitutional right. If he was
his
a Caucasian
job,
man,
guess what? His job is a private entity. His job said you can't do it.
If it's a Caucasian man showing his
but it's not. It's not.
You remember old boy got in trouble and saying, remember Agent Zero got in trouble for them straps.
But that was different though.
It was, but still, nevertheless, the NBA, when that happened, the NBA, and I'm gonna let you go free. When that happened, the NBA had zero tolerance for firearm, like that kind of stuff. If you're gonna hunt and do all your things, do it privately. If you want to film it, but don't put it on social media. Like BVO said, you're working with a private entity.
The crime was unholstering his weapon. Once he unholstered that weapon, that's a crime. That's a crime because he's not in danger. He's unholstered his weapon. That's a crime. So if his weapon was holstered and he can legally have it in the club, it wouldn't have been a crime. But he pulled it out. That's a crime. Once he pulled it out, that's a crime.
Let me do this real quick before you do that. Let me do this before you do that. Shout out to my man Coach Hacker. Coach Hacker, we gotta ask you this, man. Because we got Insane got something. I think you're gonna be able to answer that for him. What is the crime of Zion Williamson buying
not Zion
sex? No, I'm asking Coach. Why is that a big deal to everybody? What's the issue with that, Coach? In your opinion?
I don't see what the issue is. Look, the young man ain't looking for a relationship, and he know what he like, and he ain't taking it. You putting a price on it. So I mean, if you got an issue with that, you got to have an issue also with the ones who accepting the payment. You can't get mad at the dealership and not get mad at the customer.
That's what I'm thinking. This is the thing I'm saying, Coach. They want to vilify Zion. He's doing the right thing. He going to this bill for what you need. pulling the money out, and then they want to call him everything but a child of God. I wanted him to do that than take it, right?
I think he been rather responsible though. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, I've only seen the girls who post that he was trying to buy it from them. Them the only ones I see. He ain't posted it. He ain't put it in the chat. He put it in private message. You know, that's what was ruining stuff. Everybody want clout. And if you got clout but the man didn't pay you because he asked you, then what did you get? Do you understand? Likes, shares, and comments is more valuable than money now. Back when I was young, and I'm being cute a bit, I came up in the era with gold diggers. Gold diggers did not profess that they were digging, but you knew they had a shovel. But they kept that thing quiet.
Nice and quiet, coach. Real nice and quiet.
Who was that Eagles player, prize that when the young lady was looking for a payment and he grabbed the money off the dresser and ran full sprint?
Yeah. Damn, I know exactly what you're talking about. They chased him down the hallway.
She chased him down the hallway.
What's his name, Insane? Go ahead.
You talking about Joe Blow, the lover man? That's what you talking about?
No, not the preacher man, the football player.
Not the lover man, not the preacher man.
You talking about what he say? I'm Joe Blow, witch. You should be happy I paid for this.
Yeah, he ran off the.
You go $20, go get some Mission Pod and keep it ready for me.
Yeah, that was a thing. You know, that was real popular when I first moved to Philly.
Taking the money and running?
Man, dudes was running off with the yams, bro. It was crazy.
Bro, that's insanity.
I was scared because I was like, right. That's what I said. I ain't never.
What if the pimp catch you with a baseball bat?
It ain't no pimp, boy. These girls was on daggone back page.
Man,
renegades. Then
niggas was running off with, and niggas was running off. But it's crazy because I know people that ran off more than once. I'm like, how did you? Because they don't know. And you know what I'm saying?
I've heard the old school dudes doing this. They would buy an adjoining room, right? So they'd be in a hotel and they're having an adjoining room. And if anything gets fishy, they come into that other room with a Louisville Slugger.
Oh yeah, no doubt. But if you quit, you know what I'm saying? You can be up out of there.
Let me ask you this, Coach Bernard. What do you think about cats taking off in a full speed sprint with the young lady's money? Ain't that crazy to you?
That's crazy work.
Man, they should have a wanted poster. They should be making a task force that go and arrest them immediately because they are stealing working goods.
Yeah.
Once you make an agreement for a purchase, you should be obligated to pay for it, especially if you go in the store and you open a Snicker bar and bite it. They call the police and get you for theft. Because once you open it bitter, you're responsible for paying.
And they be messing up the game by running off too, man.
Wait, Coach, this is the question that you need to ask, Coach.
Drink a whole orange juice, eat about half a bag of grapes, and she bring that stuff back to the doggone store.
Wait, let me ask Coach this question. Coach, the question you need to answer is, where did that even come from? Where did this conversation come from? I swear we wouldn't get
we be going left. BVO, when you out here with BVO, the conversation is ADHD. It's all over the place, bro. You got
you talking about y'all. The reason it went this way is because we're talking about Zion buying goods like he on Amazon. When you buy your stuff, like I bought me a couple polo quarter zips. I went and opened them and I paid for them. That's what Zion's doing. He getting on whatever he getting on. And he paying the price.
But Zion's sloppy with it though, bro.
So what? He paid. You had some raggedy.
But when did paying become cool though? That's
it ain't
down upon.
Yeah, well,
paying old man, cut it out.
Yeah, paying is old school, bro. That's from the beginning of time.
Paying always been cool.
Yeah,
paying been cool since Adam and Eve bit that apple.
Yeah.
Since Adam and Eve bit that apple.
Yes.
Paying been cool since then.
Yes, indeed.
You almost required to pay. You almost required to pay.
It's better off paying, so you don't be getting in no allegations and getting no trouble. Just give her the cash
Are
You
you
know what I'm
paying
saying? So
her
I'm
to
not
leave?
knocking what Zion doing, but Zion extra, like he got like Celine Powell and stuff, like known girls that's gonna post you, that's gonna expose you, that's gonna
Bruh.
Oh, that's
drop
not
receipts
him.
and all
That's
this.
Offset. That's Offset.
Hey,
No, that's
hey, Tim,
Zion. The BBL
No,
when did
bandit
it
is in full effect right now, and he is out of
when did
control.
it come? Hey, let me ask this question. When did the bigger question is when did niggas start caring that another nigga paying for cheating?
I don't care that he paying. I just hate that he keep getting
That's a great
exposed more
question.
so.
That
But
I
is
don't
a
listen,
care if he
great
paid.
question.
listen.
Every
Whether
everybody
he
on
get
this panel
exposed or
paid.
not. Listen,
Everybody.
whether he get exposed or not. My question is, when did niggas start caring? Do you know some back in the day? Some of the best legs you got was when a dude told you she only charged you $300. She only charged you $300. He gave her
Yeah. Where the $100 at?
He gave her a rounding comment of approval. That's what they
Right.
used to call. They said that leg is USDA approved.
Yeah,
That
they was
means it's
always
all right to purchase.
referrals. Yeah.
I mean, you
Go
always had
back to boxing. This is
you had
crazy.
to be listen. You had to be a stone cold player to be like Joe Blow and take your $100 back. But most dudes didn't do that. They would just
Man.
take the $100
The
loss
love
and
of
go
man.
on.
Man, when I first moved up
Like you
here,
all the
man, they was
time.
running off with the plug like Insane said. Well, they was running off. I was like, man, I ain't doing it. I was
Coach
like,
B,
coach,
I gotta see
I
the
was
video.
scared.
This nigga went in a full sprint. He played for the Eagles. Went into a full sprint down the hall of the Hilton, man. And the girl
Yeah.
was athletic. She ran after him. She shouldn't have to do that. She should be in the shower with her Summer's Eve getting ready for the next guy. But you want to be a clown and take the money. That's the part
Yeah,
that's
he
stupid
messing
to
up
me.
the game, man.
What is going on here in this conversation?
All right, we
Coach,
about
can
to
I ask
switch
you a
it. We
question?
switching. Go
Coach, can I
ahead.
ask you a question,
Yeah,
Coach?
go ahead. Boxing.
What do you believe? Do you believe that one of these promoters can get with a TNT or a TBS and
No, we not. We
actually?
gotta finish off this conversation before you go
Not
to
the
that.
nasty
I
conversation,
cannot
No.
man.
This we
do
gotta
this, bro.
do
I'm sorry,
because
I can't.
I'm gonna just
This
say
is
this.
crazy. I'm gonna mute myself.
It might be the right pair of shoes, the wrong size. That's the one thing I heard. I heard from a Stone Cold Mac. It might be the right shoes, but the wrong size. And I think too many times when you got dudes judging other dudes about stuff that makes no sense. Zion then lost 40, 50 pounds. Ain't nobody talking about that. Zion then played most of the games. Y'all want to talk about the man buy and tell. I don't get it. I don't get it. What more can you ask for? He done lost the weight. He's playing. He's probably gonna definitely be an all-star. What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
I don't really care, but I'm just saying. I just hate the fact the way that he keep getting exposed about it. Like they keep exposing my brother, and I just be like, damn, BBL Bandit, just slow it down. Like the boys say in the chat, slow it down.
He's not getting exposed. He's not getting exposed. You only getting exposed if you're trying to hide something. He ain't trying to hide it because he's doing it with different people.
This nigga Free is diabolical.
Yo, Free crazy as hell, bro.
I'm being honest. It's only being exposed if you're trying to hide it. If you're not trying to hide it, you're not being exposed. I mean, I'd rather him pay for it than him to have allegations that he raped somebody.
Yeah, that's true.
I can agree with that, but
I'm gonna read you this right quick. Let me read you this real quick. So Zion Williamson this year is averaging 22 points. He's shooting 57% from the field. He hasn't shot a 3 this year. 71% from free throw, 6 rebounds. You got to work on that. 1 steal, half a block. I mean, this brother is balling. I don't know why he's not rebounding better than that.
That ain't no. That's cool, but the way he is, he should be dominating. We thought he was gonna be like LeBron, bro.
The man is
nobody.
He's only 6'6".
He only 25.
He's only 6'6". It's not like he's 6'9", 6'10", and
no doubt.
I mean, he's playing in the league where there's a lot of tall guys now, so he's not considered a tall guy in basketball anymore.
Point guards are on their. Them small point guards are on their way out, bro.
Yeah,
they're on their way out.
The average point guard is like 6'4", 6'5". So
yeah,
they're actually 6'6".
I was about to say they like 6'6".
Yeah, they way bigger. Yeah,
like Shea like Jordan size.
Wait, no, that's only a handful of guards. The
Caleb is about that big.
I'm talking the top guards. Then
Well,
Not Cannon.
insane.
What's the dude?
well,
What's the
who are
dude
we
that played for
calling the top
Detroit?
guards? Because John Moran is
Cade
6'3".
What's his
You
name?
got
Cade Cunningham.
okay.
Big
Cade
point guard.
Cunningham
Cunningham
about
is
6'4".
6'5".
No, hell no.
6'5".
He bigger than that. He like 6'6", bro.
So then you got LaMelo Ball, turnover machine. He about 6'7". You got that dude that's playing in
Luka
Atlanta.
Doncic.
Yeah,
That just
Jamal
took
Murray.
over for
Jamal, he ain't a small point
Jamal
guard.
Murray. He only
Jamal Murray's
6. He's only 6'4".
He's
Yeah, he
But
only
I'm
6'4".
saying though, that's a big point guard, bro.
No, that's what
6'4"
I'm
is a
saying. The
big point
average
guard. That
point
was the
guard is like
natural guard.
6'4", 6'5". The average
That's
point
the
guard now is like
yeah.
6'4", 6'5". He's not considered a tall dude anymore.
But I'm saying what his
Back
frame
in
and
the
stuff
80s,
and the way he played,
he would
he's a big point guard.
Coach, let me ask you
that
this. So let me ask you this, Coach. The man's played more games than he's played since 2019, right? And why do people go out of their way to talk about what he's not doing? What do you think that comes from? Go ahead.
Because we live in the most metrosexual point in time in man history. In the history of human man, we living in the softest era of men in history. Do you understand that we not talking about Anthony Edwards disowning a child because he don't like the woman he had it with, but we talking about a man buying some lead. We not talking about maybe because Anthony Edwards is a little more popular. Maybe he's a little more popular. But I would never support anything that Anthony Edwards does. He's a great player, but at the end of the day, the man is teaching the very thing that we wouldn't want our daughter to be in. I'm not saying the girl was right for what she did to Shorty or whatever they was going through, but at the end of the day, you gave up the right to say if you wanted kids the minute you stuck a raw pickle in it. So if we still supporting him and we not talking about what's going on with that, and it's supposedly another woman that he going through the same thing with, then why is we tripping off? Why is we tripping off this boy sending DM messages to bros about I want to get with you? He been more respectable than Anthony Edwards, but we out here talking about how great Ant-Man is. Cut it out.
You were so fun. It's funny you say that, Coach. So I wanted to do like a photo shoot for Christmas time with me, my daughters, and my wife in Ant-Man's jersey. And when Miss BBO heard that story, she X'd that out.
But the fact you was comfortable doing it.
I didn't know.
No. Now you know everything else. You know everything else. You know everything else. You choose not to know that. The fact that was cool to you tells me you know everything else.
Cool. I didn't say it was cool.
You told the panel a week ago. Y'all don't really know boxing. Y'all don't watch nobody in Kazakhstan. So you know what's going on in Kazakhstan, but you don't know what's going on in Minnesota. That don't even make sense.
That's crazy.
You cold buddy, Coach.
You just told the panel a week ago. A week or two ago, you told them they not really boxing people because they only hear about guys when they get popular. Man, you ain't know about Kabayel and know about this dude in Kazakhstan. You ain't know about the dude that fought polio and won. But you know about handbag. Come on, man.
Gassiev. We talking about Gassiev. Who that Gassiev?
That's that metrosexual time of
what up, B triple?
Yeah, that's all that is.
Hold on. So you said I was on metrosexual time?
That's not what he said.
That's not what I said. See,
that's not even close to what he said.
No, what I'm saying
I'm glad y'all listening. I'm glad y'all.
This is what I'm saying, Coach. I get what Ant-Man did was wrong, but I mean, the nigga played like Jordan. That's why I was cool. I'm like, a nigga like Baby Jordan.
Yeah, I like Ant-Man balling, but what he did with the kids is a sucker move, because if I had all that money that Ant-Man did and I had them for whatever how many kids,
baby high and dry. He was
I'm not, bro.
The money up front.
I'm not gonna give no money nowhere. I'm gonna give. Well, I probably would have to give money, but I'm gonna have my visitation rights. Are you crazy?
That's a clear case of of deadbeat and irresponsibleness.
Yes.
Because if you
He said the
didn't
girl
want
set
it,
him up, free. That's what he
no,
said.
Man,
hold
man,
on,
Ant Man
hold
be
on,
out here
hold on,
raw
hold
sushi dumping in
on, hold
everything. I'm
on.
not trying to hear that.
A girl can't set you up if you strap her. Can't set you up if you
Or
strap
go
her.
get a vasectomy. You can get that changed.
That too.
And,
That
and
too.
guess what? And guess what? Do you understand? And I want to let this be known because I've been in a situation. Do you understand that the law prohibits you to limit what a child can get by making an agreement up front to take a lump sum? Because child support is not an agreement between mother and father. It is what is required for the child. So if you live in a state where that child is entitled to 10%, then you can't say, I'm gonna give you $1 million up front and I don't give you nothing else. That violates the actual law. So at any point in time, that girl can actually go back after
She
that
tried
money.
though, coach, and she got they denied her.
Listen to me. Listen to what I'm saying. She has the rights under the law. Do you understand how many NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball players have tried that shit and it backfired? It backfired tremendously.
Well, whoever's representing Anthony Edwards got it under control because she tried to go back and get more money, and the judges told her no.
Listen, do you know why? But listen, do you know why they told her no? Because the statutory time on the agreement has not elapsed because it does have a 12-month period. So if I agreed to give you X amount of dollars in 12 months and my financial situation has not changed, you have to wait until the eclipse of the 12 months or my financial situation changes. That's what you have to wait for. So once again, she may have to wait, but guess what? If she got the type of lawyers that them 80s women had, them top lawyers, guess what he doing? He waiting for Anthony Edwards to get a $20 McDonald's endorsement. If it changes his money in any way, shape, or form, they'll be back in court because that's now you created a new criteria. The law goes all the way. If a man has a job and he makes $100,000 a year and he has to pay $5,000 a month, the minute that man gets a raise or he gets a new job and he makes $250,000, the woman can go back and say situations have changed. That changes our present agreement. So if he go back and he re-ups and he gets a new contract that gives him more money, that changes the status of the original agreement.
You know the sad thing? Super my brother B3. We got my brother B3 in the house, man.
That's my guy. Shout out to my young boy B3, man. Y'all go follow B3 Picks. He got a dope show, The Road Show. It be lit. You know what I'm saying? Pull up, smash the like, support the channel.
Hey, and he keep $40 in his bill fold, just in case you wonder. He keep $40 in his bill.
Yeah, that's my young boy, B Triple.
But let me ask you this, B3, because the coach brought up a pretty cool thing. Why do you think so many guys care what Zion does with his money, but they don't go after Ant-Man, who's made it clear because he hates the mother of the child that he wants nothing to do with the child? Why do you think they have such a double standard where they call Zion a simp, a goofball, but they have no words for a guy like Ant-Man?
I mean, let me say this, man. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate you, Prize, BVO, Coach, Free, everybody in the chat. And that's a tough situation. I mean, I'm gonna say this. People, this culture is kind of, unfortunately, they don't have a relationship with God. They lack God in their life, so their morals is off. You know, they don't realize right from wrong in a lot of situations. So they'll applaud a guy like Anthony Edwards because they'll consider his baby mama's a 10. So because these guys or these kids, they think that a lady is pretty, that's the end all be all. Or because, you know, he's baby Jordan and, you know, he can pretty much get away with, you know, unmanly behavior. We don't have no man code in this era. Like men are not, young boys are not being raised up by men. So they're conducting themselves in a lost way. You know, when your father's in your life, it shapes you. You know, you can't. Certain things you're not gonna do when you know dad is around watching. So, and when you got to be accountable to a man, you'll conduct yourself like a man. And as we can see, unfortunately, I believe I hear that Ant-Man's dad passed away. So he's probably out here just doing whatever, you know, whatever his flesh desires, that's what he's going to do. And you already know what happens when you led by the flesh. So,
Yeah, I believe his mom and grandma gone.
right.
So he probably out here just winging it.
Yeah.
1000%.
Yeah, I'm looking at the article. He had a picture of his grandmother and his mother when he got drafted #1. He was by himself when he got drafted #1.
Yeah, but he needs to get a vasectomy. I advise all of your young boys coming up that played sports.
Never do that.
Man, yes,
Never
you can do that because
Never
you know
do
how
that.
I know. You know how I know. Because I know what I know. And don't be afraid. You still can give a good facial. Don't worry about none of that stuff. You'll be fine, but you'll be sitting for a couple of months. But it'll be in a long run when they try to pull them and say this is yours and that's yours. It ain't no way. And if it's that 1%, then it's meant to be. So I advise them to go do that.
Man,
that's the most goofball stuff in the world.
Hold
You
on,
meet
hold
Why?
a
You
good
can
girl,
change it. You can change
when
it
you're
back.
70, you might meet a young girl. She might be 40. You might be 70. She want a baby. You don't give it to her. You a
Then
goofball,
that's
man.
when you go back to the doctors, get yourself together, come back and go have the baby. It's not. You can reverse it. It's not like a one time. Guys, listen, young boys. If you go get a vasectomy and then when you get into your 30s, let's say you get 35 and you want to have a big family, you can go switch that back, right? But for your whole time, the whole time being, you won't. Man, listen.
I'm
Hold
gonna
on.
say
Why do
right
we
now,
have?
I can't speak for other people, but for myself, I don't want you playing around down there one time. Then you talking about play around down there for a second time? Nah, sir, I'm cool.
Hey man, for them young boy, them rappers and them athletes and them young millionaires, that's for
These
them.
guys, we have to self-control. We shouldn't have to
I don't
neuter.
preach that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we shouldn't have
right.
to neuter men. We should teach
Yeah,
them
we
abstinence.
should have
Well,
We should teach
abstinence,
them
man.
Ant-Man could have
discipline in
been one of the
life.
ones that needed to have a vasectomy, and then once he's done his NBA career, once he wants to have kids and a family, you still go back to the doctors. You're rich. Everything's gonna be. It's not what y'all think, and you go and deal with it, and then you come back, and then you have your family.
As whack as this
Men
may
men
sound,
don't
I think abstinence should be the case. My bad. Go ahead,
man
Coach.
men don't become better men because they retire. It's not a kid thing I'm preaching about. I'm preaching about a man thing. I heard the brother say these men don't have a dad in their life. But the sad part is a lot of them do have dads in their life, but their dad a fucking cornball. And so he teaches the cornball last ways. I've said it on this show before.
Yeah.
Any of my sons, I've never bought them a condom because I teach abstinence. If they follow it, good. If they don't follow it, but I know what I teach. It's not cool when you got young men like NBA YoungBoy. He out here giving out motherfucking STD. I don't care if it's not cool if you got a vasectomy but you got AIDS. And Ant-Man with his mindset, I've seen his type before. He would knowingly have AIDS and continue having unprotected sex with him because he knows that I can produce kids I don't want, and he continues to do it. So what tells you that he would not give out motherfucking HIV if he had it? Because he has a selfish mentality. He has a selfish mentality. So, all these options to give him other than being a man and having some self-control. Don't be with these women. And I'm gonna tell you something. These women ain't seeking these niggas out. These niggas seeking these women out. Do you know these? Let me tell you something. These niggas with this money that's doing what they doing, they are predators. And let me explain why. If you notice, they're getting the same type of women pregnant over and over. The women who only have beauty but do not have intellect, or they do not have financial prosperity. Do you think that any of these dudes can walk up to Beyonce and say, "Hey, I want to have sex with you"? Do you think any of these dudes could walk up to any of these top level successful women who just have just as much money, if not more, and do that. So they're actually preying on a specific type of woman. They're preying on a specific type of woman. And if you don't consider him a predator, then tell me what a predator is. And tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me where I'm wrong.
You think it's at the bottom of the ocean on that, bro? I hate when you do that, man. Because that's not even that. Hey, that's wild, but that is true. You got dudes who will do that weird stuff.
Hey, real quick, BBO, happy birthday to the birthday boys.
Oh yeah, happy birthday, man, to West Indian Mark, man. How you feel, man?
Salute, brothers.
Happy birthday, Mark.
Out the sugarcane fields, man. How old did you turn? 25?
That's crazy.
26 today. I'm 26 years old.
Man.
Just came from a nice little dinner by my cousin's house, so I'm having a great time tonight. Hope you brothers are doing well also.
Man, I'm glad you had a good day, man. You know, hopefully you get some tail before you go to bed, man. But
wow.
we having a pretty cool little conversation about, man, how important it is to teach your kids like abstinence and self-control over.
Hold on, wait, Mark, you got $40?
I got $40, but not for that, man. Y'all brothers are wild.
Yeah, it's one of them things where I don't know, man. I think more guys got to kind of go to B3 Coach Hackaway and you got to just stay away from it, because one thing I'll tell you, if you guys have seen the HIV rates and stuff like that, I really think, you know, most guys will just be like me and say, you know what, I'm going to just stay with my woman, man, and go from there, because it's too dangerous out here, man. It's too dangerous out here. They had a chick I was reading about. She gave 31 men HIV because she was mad that she had HIV. You know?
Wow.
Yes.
See how we always jump to the story I heard about the girl? See how we always do that? Let's stop jumping to the story about the girl. I want to really say something. I'm a pro woman thing. I'm cool. I'm on with that. You have a large percentage of male whores compared to women.
For sure.
So we gonna stop putting this thing like, hey man, women are the devil and men got seduced by the devil. Nah. Let me ask you this. How many $1 million male strip clubs are there across the country? That you know of?
I don't know.
I don't know none.
Okay, but how many $1 million female strip clubs are there across the country?
Awesome bunch.
So
in order to have a thriving business of any type, what's the number one thing you need?
Clientele.
Customers.
Yeah.
So if you can go find at least 3 financially prosperous strip clubs in every major city, but you can't go to every major city and find 1 prosperous strip club for men. What is that? Who is actually the worst? So when y'all keep wanting to say this shit about, man, you know, when I heard this girl did this to 30 niggas, I heard this girl did this to 20 niggas. When the last time you seen a motherfucking gangbang with 30 women banging one dude that's not in a porn movie? Nah, answer that to me. Answer that.
I've never seen that.
But you see in a regular situation where you got 3, 4, 5 niggas want to fuck one girl and they don't want to do it. Their fantasy is to have sex with their buddies with one girl.
Whoa.
No. We're not going whoa. We're going to be keeping real. Their fantasy.
That's that stuff Pimp C was talking about.
Their fantasy, if you want to break it down to them, is watching a man's nuts go in and out of this girl's.
That's crazy.
I mean, they don't. But when I say it, I'm gonna bring
about being in a room naked with no other man. That's some crazy.
No.
That's not happening.
Listen, I didn't say anybody here. I said the overwhelming fantasy for these men is to have 3 or 4 guys with one bra. So you mean to tell me your overwhelming fantasy is to watch your man's thing go in and out of a bra? That's your overwhelming. That is your overwhelming fantasy.
Crazy conversation.
I'm just being honest. See, I'm gonna say it in a way that it brings
It's some
truth to it.
Diddy-fied conversations, man.
I'm
That's the
gonna
type
bring
of
it where it
stuff
bring
Diddy
the
was
truth
into.
to it. But you gotta remember, this is what they do. I've never been one of them guys who had interest in my nuts touching another man's.
Right.
But you see these dudes wanna, man, I was in her butt, he was in her vagina. So and I asked them
I've never
that one
done
question.
that.
I asked them the main question. So you like your heads or your nuts touching another man's head or his nuts. And they be like, cut that out. But that's what the fuck happened. You can't tell me that ain't what happened. It's not possible for it to happen. It's not possible for it to happen.
This is crazy.
But it's the truth. It's the truth.
They got
and
niggas
see,
to do that.
This is the reason why I don't encourage and I stop young men from playing games with pause. Because I gotta entice you to fucked up shit by getting you okay with something simple. So once you become cool with saying pause, it's cool for y'all to shed his brother. It's cool for your dickheads to touch his dickhead.
That is crazy.
I mean, go ahead. No,
I will say this.
Y'all can't say that it's wrong. I'm giving you wrong.
I'll say this, Coach. I have heard of dudes going in the room, tearing her up, and then another dude coming right after. I've heard of that, and I have heard.
I'm going
but listen, but listen to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Even with the example that you just presented, that's even worse. That's even worse. Because if you was in the rotation, that means you like another man's sperm on your dick.
Oh my God, I'm done.
No, I'm giving you all reality. That means that's what you like.
That is a reality, you know, because dudes is gonna shoot a club up. That's a fact.
So once again, these are the reasons why I gotta stop young men who are ignorant. Ignorant, the definition of ignorant is not having knowledge. This is why I gotta stop young men from playing games like pause. Because if I don't stop you from playing the game,
I don't like the pause.
Do you understand the first? How many of y'all play poker or play blackjack?
Blackjack.
I play blackjack.
Okay. Now, how many of you all have gambled? No, how many of y'all have gambled playing blackjack or poker?
I gamble a lot playing blackjack.
I've done plenty of times.
Okay, y'all did it plenty of times. Y'all played blackjack or poker, and you gambled, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
You know the first time you ever played, you played for free.
Yeah.
And then it got good to you when you started knowing the rules. It got good to you, and you wanted to go to the table and gamble, right?
Eventually, I got to
Okay. Okay. So if I keep letting y'all openly and comfortably say pause, 1 in 100 of y'all gonna think about what do pause really have to do. If I can get your mind, listen to what I'm saying. If I can get you to comfortably keep playing pause, after a while, that tingling sensation actually shows itself when you say it, because you're mentally programming yourself to play with yourself when you say pause.
Whoa!
Wow, this is out of control.
No, I'm just keeping it a buck with you.
You're not keeping it a buck, Coach. Hell no.
Listen, listen to what I'm saying, brother. Each one of y'all that I've ever heard, and I'm talking about y'all in the sense of young males. Every time I hear them say pause, they gotta give a special male movement like, oh, pause, and they shift themselves left to right and hold their dick. Listen, this is what I'm saying. And even if you don't shift yourself left to right and hold your dick, the minute you said pause, you had a sexual thought go through your mind.
Yeah.
The minute you said pause, 100% of the time, you had a sexual thought go through your mind. And
Yeah,
do
I
you
don't like the
realize?
pause. I don't do
No,
the pause
listen. Let me bring it full circle for y'all.
I just be
Let me
thinking about
listen.
the
Nah,
No,
Mark,
no,
you
no,
be
no,
doing it
no,
all the
no.
time, Mark.
Listen to me. Listen, I'm gonna bring it full.
words.
I'm gonna bring it full circle for you. I'm gonna bring it full circle for you. That sexual mindset that you have when you say pause, whether you touch yourself or not, in your
Wow.
mind, because the mind is the start of everything. The mind is the start. When you mentally say pause, wasn't it because the nigga said something related to a sexual something?
Yeah,
Ain't
for
that why
sure.
y'all say pause? So if you say it pause,
It could be just
no.
saying
Stop, bro. We're not gonna do that. Whenever you say pause, it's because somebody said something that related to a sexual connotation
This is
in some way, shape, or
connotation is
form.
going left.
Listen. So if you say pause when a man says something related to sexual connotation, you are having a mental thought of a homosexual nature. Because you ain't thinking about a woman, because a man said it. Every time a man say something, man, I was gonna ride on the back of my man motorcycle. Y'all niggas to say pause. What was you thinking about? A sexual act between two men.
Yeah.
So a homosexual thought ran through your mind every time y'all say that, and that's why I'm trying to get y'all to stop.
Now that part I agree with, because I'm like, what makes you think if I say something like what you just said, and then somebody tell me pause, I'm like, damn, I wasn't even thinking like that, but you are. So I get that part.
So in that situation, it went from one step to step 2 of pause. Because at first you just thought about it. You wasn't comfortable saying it. Then you got comfortable saying it. Then you got comfortable giving gyration to it because you're grabbing yourself to the point where the only thing left that you have to do is start looking at men with a longing eye. Because you put it in your heart. You put that shit in your heart. Do you not understand why men tell a daughter, you know, every sexual partner that you have, he ejaculates you, he left a piece of his soul inside of you? No, this is real shit. He
Nah, I believe that way
left a
too. I
piece
have
of
a
his
spectrum on
energy.
certain females. Yeah, for sure.
He left a piece of his energy inside of you.
This is crazy.
But it started from the heart. That's why niggas say, man, she got her feelings in me. So when you start doing stuff, remember that you're putting this shit within your heart. Yeah. And at some point, every man manifests the longings of his heart. Yeah. So I stop young men and I give them this whole conversation about pause because once again, me and BVO had a private conversation. If you got a bunch of mental degenerates in your village, then what is your village producing when you give your child to your village? Another mental degenerate.
Yeah.
And if you and I'm gonna tell these brothers who got sons and daughters, if BVO has a daughter, and at some point BVO wants his daughter to marry a good man, every father wants their daughter to marry a good man. You gotta ask yourself, the way you establish if he's a good man, if I wasn't around this child, is by knowing his father. How many of you dudes, when you examine yourself, think that BVO would let his daughter marry your son if you was the man that raised him? You gotta think you disqualifying your own sons for good women because the fathers of these good women know the degenerate that you are.
That's a fact. That's true.
Man, BVO, I don't want to hear. BVO, you're the one who started this whole pause thing.
Well, let me say this. Let me say this. Let me say this. I'm gonna go a little deeper on this. So I'll say this. The thing I will say is this: when I was growing up, I thought that was okay, and I had to learn that it wasn't. And the cool thing about it is, whenever you can self-reflect and say, "Hey, you know what? I could be better on this. I could be better on that." That goes a long way.
Hey, let me ask y'all this.
Marky Man, just like my child, he gonna say you started it. That don't mean you gotta follow.
Have your own brain, Punk.
Hey, let me ask y'all this question. How old was y'all when Minister Society came out? Or were y'all born when Minister Society came out?
I was very young, like 3 or 4 when that came out.
Okay, y'all was young. But y'all have seen Minister Society, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I was still a rambunctious young man when Minister Society came out. Do y'all remember that scene when the crackhead dude told Kane, "I suck your thing if you give me a hit," and Kane shot him?
Yeah.
Back in my day, if you said pause to a man when I was a teenager, he'd have blew your fucking head off. What you think I'm some type of gun? What you think I'm some? What the? He'd have blew your head off your shoulder, and he would have had to, because if he didn't, everybody in the hood would be like, "Man, that nigga thought that shit was sassy."
Yeah, it wasn't going down. It wasn't
He'd
going
have
down.
blew your head off your shoulder.
It wasn't going down. Like we didn't when we found out that people was like that. They was kind of like cast out of the area. We like, hold up, nah, you can't. Nah, it wouldn't have went down. You say pause to somebody back there, you probably get jumped. 9 times out of 10 you get jumped, or you definitely gonna get swung on by somebody.
Yeah. I say this. I think the thing that I would say in Marcus's defense is that this is not a guy who kind of understands that. He's not from the American culture, so he probably wouldn't understand that. Hey, we didn't know what we were saying as kids, and I'll be honest. So Bernard kind of gave me some game on it. I didn't know. I thought it was just something funny to say, no Diddy and all that, but. It do take, if you think about it, it does take your mind to a very horrible place. And at some point you got to say, I don't want to be a part of that. Just that simple.
And we got to think about that, because I fuck with y'all. Everybody on this show, I fuck with y'all. And I'm going to tell you, since I fuck with y'all, I feel like as an old nigga, it's my responsibility to wake y'all up to stuff that you may not even know is let me tell you something. The devil is cunning. The devil is not a bull in the china shop. The devil is a snake sliding through the grass. He eases his way in. He don't rush it in. And if I don't say nothing, as an older man who's seen a lot of stuff in a different way or shape or form, then I'm just as bad as the devil.
Yeah.
I can't be of any help, any benefit to you or your family or your kids if I'm up here promoting things that I know are to me ungodly. Now, after you gain knowledge of something and you like it, guess what? I don't shame you. No. It's not. I'm not trying to be funny. If a man tells me, "Hey, coach," and it could be a sidebar conversation. "Hey, coach, I really do enjoy X, Y, and Z. I enjoy the company of another man." I don't condemn that dude. I don't condemn him, but at least I know where he's coming from.
Yeah.
I don't condemn him. What I condemn is if you're ignorant and then you get mad at somebody for doing something. Like I told the brother, if you say something so much in mixed company, you can't get mad when a man hit on you. You can't want to beat him up and you keep saying mixed company stuff. You can't do it.
No.
But if I don't pull you to that, then I'm festering what the ignorance is. It's our jobs as men, to men who want to be better men, we have to give them the accurate knowledge of how to be better men. You want to talk about Tank Davis and domestic violence stuff? Cool. But then we also have to talk about the other side of it. And we might can't save Tank Davis if he has a problem with it. But you might save a Tank Davis fan. He might not agree with me online, but it might have changed the way he shaped something. You got to think about what we're doing for the savable ones, not the unsavable ones. If then that your wife gave you information about the stuff with Anthony Edwards, I should never hear you while this man is partaking in these actions Talking about I'm doing a family portrait in Anthony Edwards gear. First of all, that's some cornball ass shit. You ain't doing your family portrait in a t-shirt with your grandfather's face on it. The man who did more for you than Anthony Edwards has ever done. You doing it in an Ant-Man jersey. What type of cornball shit is that? That's some corny ass nigga shit. We out here getting tattoos of niggas we've never met. But a man who was in your life the whole time, or a woman that was in your life the whole time, you don't have one tattoo of her. You don't even have her fucking name tattooed on you. Do you understand why I respect women? I'm gonna tell you why I respect women. Because a man will do as much as he can to feed his kid. A man will do as much as he humanly can to feed his kid. But a woman will do everything possible to feed hers. A woman will fuck, suck, and swallow if it means feeding her kids. Let me ask a heterosexual man, will you go to that depths of fucking sucking and swallowing for your kids to eat? He gonna tell you hell no.
I might kill something.
No.
Don't say the K word on here, man. Don't say the K word on here, bro.
Are you kidding me?
Listen. You might be willing to unalive for your child. I understand that. But I'm asking you something that is worse than unaliving. I'm asking you to do what a woman would do. Give up her dignity. Listen, a woman will give up her dignity for the betterment of her child. A man not doing it. A man will let that little joker starve to death before he give up his dignity for him. Do you? Let me tell y'all some real shit. Let me tell y'all some real shit. I back in the day, I was getting some money. I'm cool back in that time. When I came home from prison, I said I would never break the law or destroy people with drugs again. My first job when I came home was a construction company called B. Frank Jordan. My second job was at CVS. None of my guys gave me flack for working a construction job because they considered that man. But they used to come by CVS and give me all types of grief for working at CVS. One of my good friends, she used to stand by the register and say, hey, y'all, can you imagine 13 years ago this dude was getting money and driving whatever he wanted? He would say stuff like that. He'd say, he would get something and not get his change. Because he thought that it was unmanly for me to work at CVS after being the man I used to be. And guess what? I thought the most manly thing I did was work at CVS and not give a fuck what a nigga think about me. Because I was still feeding my kids. That is the mindset that I push now. And I apologize to anybody when I have conversations with men, and I consider you all men, because I consider very serious conversations when I talk to men. BBO gave me the business a week ago. Man, you go on my other man podcast and you sound totally different when you talk to him. Don't ask. Look, the winos shouldn't ask me why I sound different when I stand around the trash can and drink with the winos. They should ask me what makes them think that we not worth better conversation.
Hey, my man was talking like Brian Gumble on the other show, man. Shout out to my man.
But with you young people, y'all give me an audience that needs to have this conversation. I hope y'all be proud of the conversations that we have. I'm very proud of the conversations that I have with you guys, even though we laugh and joke a lot. 700,000 people watch BBO. BBO was so excited when he hit the 700,000 viewership. Out of that 700,000, how many of those do you think are under the age of 35 or over the age of 35? The vast majority are under 35.
I would probably say 7 and 10, Coach.
Thank you. So when we had these conversations, do you know we are getting 7 and 10 under 35 people who partake in this foolishness to hear us give them some knowledge that they did not have? Do you know 7 in 10 young men may now look at Ant-Man different than they did before we had this conversation? 7 in 10 young men are now at least thinking about how they respect young women. 7 in 10 young women who listen to the show are saying he can't call me those names no more because my daddy didn't call me those names because we have this conversation. I got a man on here who be teased for being rich, but he always imparting some educational business knowledge on 7 in 10 young men and women who don't have that available. So I'm proud to be having these conversations with you. Because if we don't, who will?
Yeah. Hey, and I always say this, man, when you bring up the brother Richard, man, shout out to Chico, man, for what he did, because people don't understand, man, it's not easy. It's not easy to do stuff that won't benefit you today. And one thing I could say, I've never got the honor of meeting this brother, but what we hear from Prize about his grandfather is the man's a giant. To do stuff that didn't necessarily affect him today, to be able to bless your grandson to live a millionaire life, that's a beautiful thing to me. I don't think you can. I don't think you can really call it any better than that, in my opinion, man. If you can say what I'm doing today is gonna help my grandkids, that's a win. That's a win.
100. And I want to ask a question. What is your grandfather's name? Because I've never heard it, or if I did, I didn't pay attention. But he should be cherished. The world should know that man's name.
Yeah, I think prior to take a call real quick, he'll be right back. But when you think about this, right? We talk about getting into construction. That's what our Prize does. To be in construction in the 70s and 80s with real racism out there, that took a lot. I'm sure he was called nigga. I'm sure he was called boy. All that. I'm sure he was threatened. That's why the stuff that goes on now is kid stuff. I'm gonna tell you a story my aunt Sarah told me. So I want to know why my family was living in Arkansas. Why did you guys come to Cleveland? My great grandmother, her brother was lynched, and they came here. First, this is the cool part of the story. First, there was a tornado, and my great grandma and them prayed the tornado away, and then they caught the train up here from a brother who was pretty fair skinned. He worked on the train. This was a big deal back then, so he worked the train and got them all up here, and brought like 5-6 families from Arkansas to Cleveland, and was able to give these guys a better life. And I think we take it for granted the way we get to live now, going to a store and buying what we want. People don't even realize that you didn't even hear, from what I read, because I do a lot of reading, you didn't even hear black music like rap on the radio. Rap only got played like on Sundays. You can hear rap anywhere you want now, but they used to only play rap like on Sundays on the radio. Just like you hear church on Sundays on the radio, it's the same thing. So we don't realize how hard our grandparents worked. How many people know their great grandfather's name? That's the thing.
Real shit.
You gotta realize these dudes, some of these guys that made a way for us to have a life. Think about my man Marcus. His mother was doing, I think you said she's an attorney, right, Marcus? I think he fell off, but his mother's an attorney. Came to the islands. I think he said came from Grenada, was able to make a life in St. Croix. That's not easy to do, man. And it's like you hear about all the great stuff that we do, and then when it's your turn, you can't even buy a house. You can't even take care of your family. You can't even make sure that somebody else get to enjoy your hard work. And that's the thing that I think we got to really put forward. Shout out to my brother B3. Me and B3 send each other stuff all the time about being better men. Because if we're not good men first, we got nothing. And yeah, I'm sure if I did more of the Tom Coonery and all that, we would be more loved. But I'll take our little slowly but surely way. I looked up Chat GPT, told me something I'll never forget about BVO Sports TV. It just said this is a slow and steady movement that's going to continue to grow over time. So it's not going to be overnight. It's not. But when we got people like Puerto Rican Free, who's been in the Army from DC, I'll be honest with you, to be an officer, and you from DC, that's hard to do, man. Because I know they was on D. I know they gave D3 a hard time. They did. Because that's the type of city DC is. You ain't gonna walk around here and not get bothered. Nobody's exempt. Just like I was laughing with Coach. Coach was telling me that people didn't do the bullying stuff I did, like give people swirlies and stuff like that, to kick people in the tail. They didn't do that, but BBO grew up doing it. It's just how it is, man. And when you know better, you got to do better. I would never now try to put a man's head in the toilet like I did as a kid. I did that a lot as a kid because I was on some, stop me. What you gonna do? That used to be my favorite thing to say. What you gonna do? I don't know where I got that from, but I used to have that bad spirit of what you gonna do and what you gonna do about it. And I'm gonna tell you guys a funny thing. I met a 5'2" woman, and I met my match. And I realized there's nothing I can do. and that's the part of being a man, when you realize that, hey, no matter how strong you are, how big you are, that you got to consider what your woman who loves you says. You can't just say F what she talking about. Not if you want to be successful in life. And you never make the money you should make when you have a divorce or when you don't make it work with your lady. And this is what niggas are not understanding. Yeah, it's fun to have fun and do your thing with the chicks and all that. I say do it. But once you figure out what you want to do, man, get married and get some money. Have a good time. Go on vacation. Put your feet in the sand. One of my favorite things was putting my crusty toes in the sand in Aruba. I love Aruba. I plan to retire there one day. And you can do it too. And I think more niggas got to understand that what you see in the day is not going to be just your tomorrow. You never know what you can do. When me and Free and Pride started doing this show, man, niggas wasn't watching or showing no love, and man, we just put the work in, dog. And then we didn't talk to Uncle Stitch. We talked to people like Tim Terrible Witherspoon. I've been on the phone with Roy Jones Jr. before. I talked to my man Sugar Hill. I get to talk to my favorite trainer's only protege every day. My man Bernard Hager. It's not a big deal to him, but to me, Gary Sr. is like my basketball idol. My boxing idol. When I listen to the stuff he would talk about, the way he looked at boxing, to me, the nigga wasn't nothing but a chocolate custom model. Because the way he was able to talk about boxing and break it down, the brother had it down to a science. So that's what we do here on BBO Sports TV, man. We get up here, we have some fun, we laugh and joke, but we really, really are trying to give niggas something good they can use and do something with their life, man. And we're going to keep growing and doing our thing. What you got for me, B3, before we get out of here?
Nothing, man.
What about you, B3?
Just 5 show, dope build. You already know Coach always.
Nigga, no, you're not walking out of here without giving us no game. You already know that. I see you trying to play that dumb game. Give us some game, B3.
Oh, I thought we was in the show.
No, you gonna give us some game before we got it. I see how you light skinned niggas do, man. Give us some game, man. And stop hiding it. Stop keeping it all for yourself. Man.
This is the game. It ain't got nothing to do with color. It's about character. And that's what people need to start focusing on. Character over color. Because as we know, going through our everyday life, people that look like us, they'll do us wrong every day in the week and twice on Sunday. So I just want to say this. If you in your own individual life, you feel the need like I do to want people that look like me to do well, make sure you giving them words of encouragement in order to grow and prosper their life. But I always tell this to people too. Don't shun people that don't look like you, because they could have words of encouragement. They could have blessings for you. God could be putting them in a situation to sow into you. But because you have you lack understanding or lack guidance, you won't be able to receive that blessing because you're worried about color and not character. So that's a big deal that I want everybody to kind of realize, is that Like, be mindful of how people are conducting themselves, how they treat other people, more so than how they, how they look and what their appearance is. My bad. I know that was off topic, but yeah, that's
Hey,
just
that's
what
as
I
well as
had
it
for you
get,
right
man.
on
What
the
you
top of
got?
my head.
No, because I think the thing that's so important, three, is this, is that we got to understand everybody that's a skin folk ain't your kin folk. And a mistake a lot of young blacks make is think because people share your skin color that they share your same interests. They don't. Um, I get a lot of flack because I'm from the ghetto, you know, and growing up in the ghetto, I hated all those niggas, and I took a lot of flack for that. I took a lot of flack for that. I done had plenty of people say, "Oh, BBO's Uncle Tom" or this, whatever. At the end of the day, man, I have no desire to please anybody but God and my family. And I think more niggas should be like that. Who cares what a nigga say? Who cares what a nigga think? You talking about niggas who don't even own nothing. I done heard niggas who don't own a steering wheel try to talk crazy. I'm from the hood. I'm from the hood. I seen it. I seen niggas take their girls EPT card and buy wings for the game. I've seen that. So when you see stuff like that, and I've seen bum niggas at a crazy level, it changes who you are. I've seen a man one time, he had a girl who was working 2 and 3 jobs, and this nigga wasn't doing nothing but sitting at home playing the game, making meals for the kids. What is that? And he was a monster on 2K, but what does it mean to be a monster on 2K and your family's struggling, man? And y'all can't buy stuff and stuff getting cut off? What type of man would want to live like that, man? I just see a nigga every day and I'm done, man. I used to have a job, and I worked at a grocery store. I used to be this nigga. He must have been probably 34, 35, older nigga, but he looked really young. You know how you always say that nigga that's in the hood that look really young. Sister, my brother just do. And one thing I learned from watching him was he had no desire to be better. He had no desire to be better. He was handsome. So he had a nice little chick with him too. And it's like his whole life was nothing but busting down mouths, blowing straight bullcrap marijuana, and drinking. That was his whole life. His whole life, where he would probably sleep till about 12, get up at 12, and that would be it. And I said, you know what, man, I would have not lived and lived like that. Or I never ever want to have to beg. I seen dudes beg. I seen a dude on his knees begging a chick for a place to stay. Brother, I would have jumped off the Empire State Building before I do that. I'm just being real. And I think more niggas should have that kind of idea of themselves, man. Like when Coach was talking about, man, sleep under the tree. I got into it one time, unfortunately, with my lady, and I slept in my car, and I had to make sure from then on out, hey, I got to figure something out. I can't sleep in no car. And I'll tell you this, man, that's why it's important to have your ducks in a row and know where you stand in life. Because, bro, ain't no use in getting all the money and then you lose it because you can't keep your marriage together, or you can't keep your relationship together. Come on, bro. What's the use of getting $1 million house and then you and your lady get divorced, then you got to start all over again? That's no way to live. And I think more niggas gonna understand that. That's no way to live. You don't have to live like that. You don't have to live hand to mouth. You don't have to buy stuff on credit. You don't have to do that. You know what I mean? You ain't got to drive no jalopy. You know, you ain't got to do that. You can go to the dealership and buy whatever you want. I see it all the time. I see people buy $100,000 trucks like it's nothing. Dude the other day bought 4 Western Stars. That's a big truck. Vocational trucks. When I say vocational, I mean these are trucks that does heavy jobs. Dude bought 4 of them, cash. Why can't you do that? Because we give ourselves reasons why. But you can figure out how it goes, man. But I'll go all day on that stuff because I want to see people win, and nothing does better than having success, man. I remember my uncle used to say all the time, man, if you're cashing checks, then you're having sex. So I'm gonna leave y'all with that, man. Make sure you cash checks so you can have plenty of sex, man. And it's your boy BBO Sports TV, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you follow the Sports Talk Network family, man. We doing some big things, man. And I appreciate everybody for what they're doing. Look like we're gonna get to 7,000 really, really soon. So thank you guys. And we never bought one subscriber. We never pickle pulled nobody. All I did was come up, and shout out to Just Do for giving me my first opportunity, man, on YouTube. So shout out to Just Do, because he had to do that. I'm a black guy. He didn't have to give nobody black a chance. So shout out to my man Just Do for giving me a chance from going from the crowd to seeing people like Stitch the Ram, hanging out with people like Coach Hackett. It wouldn't have happened without my brother Just Do giving me that first opportunity, man. So I always appreciate that. On that note, we out of here, y'all. Hold on one second. What is it? I missed one thing. He said, "You bought me, LOL." Hey, shout out to my man DP Rocker, man, Mr. $40, man. If you ever looking for DP Rocker, he got $40, man. He gonna get you right. Hold on, let me see if I got DP's drop. Hold on.
Just salute, DP salute.
I got $40.
I'm good.
All right.
Hey, when I seen this drop, B3, I thought of my man DP, man, right here.
Nigga, keep God in your life. Fuck, nigga, keep God in your life.
Hey, that's what they
So
say,
let me
man.
ask, what's wrong with the blacks?
Here we go, y'all.
Peace.
Oh, let me get my out of here drop. Hold on one second, y'all. We go, y'all. Hold on.